Let's quickly go over trackside for the invocation and command.
Drivers, teams, officials tonight, bless everybody with a safe night of racing, Lord. The fans with great memories, great times. Lord, for the men and women of our armed forces, first responders everywhere, Lord, for all they do to protect our freedom, Lord, we lift them up and ask that your blessings would be upon them. Father, may your peace and your presence surround us all. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome teacher and worship leader from Shelby, North Carolina, Megan Richard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Glad to have you with us on the Deuce.
You ready to go?
Let's do it. It's time to drop the hammer for the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Here comes the surge. It'll be side by side.
3 wide and 4 for Willis.
He muscles him up and out of the groove.
Closing in on the outside.
They just avoided disaster there.
Contact! Rooting down to there.
And it all breaks out.
On the big one! That's how big it
A huge incident.
They need to get back on the track.
We've got 4 cars side by side all battling out. It's now a 4-horse race.
Door handle to door handle drama. 3 wide as they come to the white flag.
It is absolutely dead level at the front of the field.
An unbelievable finish.
He absolutely stood up in the seat and was counted for there.
In the NASCAR Xfinity Series, names are made here. For the second week in a row, we arrive at a racetrack saying that fall has indeed officially started, but it doesn't much feel like it. It is an 80-degree Saturday in Concord, North Carolina, just outside of uptown Charlotte, where today the NASCAR Xfinity Series attacks the unique, maybe the most unique racetrack on the NASCAR calendar. It is the Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval, once again in play today, it plays host to the first elimination race of the Xfinity Series playoff. Glad to have you with us, and we are ready for a lot of excitement and intensity to come our way today. Hello, one and all. I'm Matthew Owens. Our USR and JBM Racing family welcomes you to Charlotte. Thanks for having us in for the race. JT comes up in just a moment. The Charlotte Roval, of course, came into play for the first time in 2018, so this is the 7th year of the Charlotte Roval, and once again it plays host to an elimination weekend for both the Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Cup Series in the playoffs. Obviously, coming into this race, Connor Zilisch is considered a heavy favorite, as he always seems to be, no matter where we go, but particularly on road courses where he's already won 6 times in his career in this series. But the story of this day may not be the race for the win, but it very well could be the race just to survive and advance into the playoffs. More about all of what we'll be watching today later in the show. But let's talk about this being the first elimination race of the playoffs. Xfinity playoffs started a few weeks back in Bristol, Tennessee. The winner was a non-Xfinity Series regular in Eric Almirola, so no one clinched their spot into the round of 8 in that race. But last week in Kansas City, 3 spots into the round of 8 were clinched. First by Brandon Jones, who won the race, then by Connor Zilisch and Justin Allgaier, who both had enough of a points buffer between themselves and the cut line coming into the elimination race today. So 3 drivers, those 3, have clinched their spot into the round of 8. That means it is 9 drivers fighting for 5 spots across this race here this afternoon. Let's take a look at how those playoff standings stack up coming into this elimination race. As mentioned, Jones, Zilisch, and Allgaier, they're already through no matter what happens here this afternoon. Sam Mayer sits 4th on the grid, 43 points above the cut line. He's pretty comfortable there. Taylor Gray and everyone below him, they are not comfortable. Gray at 5th is 16 points above the cut line. Sheldon Creed in 6th is plus 12. Carson Quaffle in 7th is plus 9. And Jesse Love holds the final spot above the cut line by 5 points. Below that elimination line is Nick Sanchez, minus 5. Austin Hill, minus 7. Harrison Burton, minus 8. And Sammy Smith is 14 points below the cut line. Maximum point game possible in one race this year with the addition of the Xfinity fastest lap point is 60. And keep in mind, as we go on throughout the day, one position on the racetrack is equal to 1 point in the championship standings. There are only 30 points that separate 5th place Taylor Gray from 12th place Sammy Smith. So that sets up the intensity of the day. Now, a part of the intensity of the day is the racetrack itself. This is a wild course. It's a Frankenstein racetrack that intertwines the Charlotte Oval with this Roval that they created 7 years ago. And it's a roller coaster ride of a racetrack. There's no other way to put it. There's nothing that duplicates the Charlotte Roval, not the Chicago Street Course, not what we'll be running on next year in San Diego. There is nothing like this Charlotte Roval on the NASCAR calendar, and it's going to throw a lot of guys for a loop here today in this elimination race. Mentioned JT is alongside here for this Xfinity Series elimination race. JT, your thoughts coming into this one here this afternoon?
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, everyone. Welcome along here to the Charlotte Roval for the Blue Cross North Carolina 250 here in Charlotte for the Roval. And let's quickly go down trackside before we continue for the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
So, engines fired here in Charlotte, Matthew, and we're getting ready for 67 laps around this Roval course.
Yeah, 67 lap race, 152 miles and change. We'll have 20 lap stages to start the day. First and second stage are each 20 laps. The final stage will be slightly longer at 27. Of course, this race last year created all kinds of confusion, chaos, and controversy when Parker Kligerman was close to receiving the white flag as the leader when a caution came out just before he broke the plane of the start-finish line and forced the race to go into overtime, where he eventually lost the race and got eliminated from said playoffs. We'll see what happens here this afternoon. Hopefully not as much controversy, but hopefully the chaos and calamity that we all enjoy will be along for the ride. Let's go ahead and give you the starting grid here for the Blue Cross North Carolina 250 here in Charlotte. Qualifying held earlier today, and Connor Zilic put it on the pole. No shock there for the driver that just dominates on these road courses, dominates anywhere we go in this series, of course. He's got his teammate Justin Allgaier, his closest pursuer all season long, with him in the first row in the Hellman Squeeze model Chevrolet. Connor Mosack lines up in row 2 along with Sammy Smith, so that's first, second, third, and fourth, all from the JRM stables. And guess what? Fifth place is too, because that's Carson Quaffle alongside Corey Day, who's in the Hendrick Motorsports entry. So JRM and Hendrick lock out the top 6 starting positions. Best in class, basically, is what everyone else is. Sam Mayer starts 7th alongside Jesse Love, the Daytona winner. Kaz Grala's in row 10 with Austin Green, a tremendous road course racer. Watch out for him today. Bristol winner and Phoenix winner from earlier this season, Eric Almirola, lines up in the 6th row with Brennan Poole. Sheldon Creed is in row 7 with Nick Sanchez, who starts the day below that cut line. Minnesota driver William Sawalich rolls off 15th, flanked by Austin Hill, also below the elimination line. Row 9, Taylor Gray and Christian Eckes, a couple of rookies. Preston Pardis starts from 19th. Matt DiBenedetto for Viking Motorsports is 20th. Canadian Alex LeVay always puts in good performances on these road courses. He's in the field with us starting 21st with Ryan Sieg from Georgia. Brandon Jones, the winner at Kansas last week, rolls off in the 12th row. To his right elbow will be Josh Balicki in the Rita's Italian Ice Chevrolet. Pennsylvania driver Sage Karam is with Parker Retzlaff from Wisconsin in the 13th row. Daniel Hemrick lines up 27th, flanked by Harrison Burton, who needs a good day to get into the round of 8. He's 8 points below the cut line. Ryan Ellis and Jeb Burton's in the 15th row, followed by Leland Honeyman and Josh Williams. Dean Thompson starts 33rd alongside Anthony Alfredo. The 18th row filled by Blaine Perkins and South Carolina's Jeremy Clements, the veteran. Kyle Sieg and Daniel Dye round out the starting grid of 38. 4 drivers failed to qualify, those being Garrett Smidley, Thomas Annunziata, Austin J. Hill, and Andrew Patterson. That starting field of 38 includes 28 Chevrolets, 6 Toyotas, and 4 Fords. The race record was set here in the first running of the Roval race in the Xfinity Series by Chase Briscoe in 2018. At an average speed of 81.2 miles an hour. That race only took 92 minutes. The average time of this race, quite longer than that, at 2 hours 28. That's what JT wants to hear, of course. So that's the starting grid. Parade and pace laps are underway. And we're excited for this one, Josh. And for the first time in a Roval weekend, it was a triple header weekend. The Truck Series ran on this course yesterday afternoon, and it was a wild and woolly affair. A lot of physicality, which is what you expect to see around this racetrack. This, as I and many others affectionately refer to it as, a Frankenstein racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was a chaotic race yesterday. Yet to see the full highlights, but I've seen the big moments, as I may or may not be on 2 hours sleep, and I may or may not have gotten in 10 minutes ago from a 15-hour day out in London. And yeah, it's been very fun. We've been live for 17, so I got home 5 minutes before broadcast start time, and no systems were set up, but we are here, and I should also say hello to the behind the scenes stream with our YouTube members having access to that. If you are a YouTube member, go on to the membership page on the YouTube channel and you will be able to find the behind the scenes screen with all of the different screens available. And I've just noticed that the main screen I use, I haven't clicked a button on it, so I need to click that button so I actually know what time it is around the world.
Yes, that would be nice.
I can. Are you enjoying it being 5:06, 01, 02, 03 down there?
I've enjoyed the full day. It's been a very busy day on this end, including a good rousing match of pickleball earlier in the day, which I very much enjoyed.
Nice.
I thought it was going to start cooling down, so hopefully I get to play more, but went out today and, well, temperatures were still high 70s.
Did you win?
I did. Well, I always win, don't you know?
Me versus Matthew Owens. Coming soon to JB Motorsports. That probably won't happen in a very long time. But then again, something might happen next year. We never know.
You never know. You just never know.
You never know. I will just warn you that you are going, if it does happen, you will be going against a back-to-back pickleball champion.
Oh, look at you.
2 years running. Yeah, wow.
That was very much said in jest on my part. That was yes. If anyone thinks that that's
Talking
what
about
I am.
meetups, shall I quickly bring a very cool picture up on stream?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Let me just quickly save said image, as we have not gotten the one to go yet. Let me put it on the laps and rundown screen so I don't mess anything up. But image 4 downloads. I literally asked it to save and it did not save. Okay, are we doing it this way, Discord? I guess so. Please let me paste it in. I will work on it behind the scenes. Hold on. Discord being Discord. Oh, also, another good thing to plan out. Premier Sports. You have a NASCAR Xfinity stream on your website right now. It's showing rugby.
Oh no.
So we're having to use the NASCAR, the backup NASCAR feed we get given.
Well, that's not great. Premier Sports, get it together.
I will literally snip into this photo because that's the only way I'm gonna get it on the stream. Okay, here we go. Image 5, browse, screenshot. Look at these three guys. Look at them. So yeah, talking about meetups, I may or may not have planned a meetup with Omi today, and then Richie turned up.
My goodness. Look at you go. Look at him go.
Talking
out of the box and into the wild.
Talking about look at them go. Matthew.
Yeah.
You ready to go?
I sure am. I am ready to go. Let's see. Bob Fouch with us in the comments section. Glad to have everyone ready to go.
Also,
I think it's going to be a very interesting race. I know there's a lot of talk right now in NASCAR land about the quality of racing on road courses in the Cup Series, but it's totally different in this Xfinity Series with these lumbering, heavy stock cars. We do get some pretty wild racing on the road courses here in this series. Even at Portland, the last time we were on a road course, Connor Zilich was running away with that race. Late caution set up, cataclysmic catastrophes on a couple of late restarts, and we'll see what we get today.
Didn't SVG get his first win on an oval here in a legend?
Yes, he did. That's right.
Awesome. The pace lights are out, but also the final time, probably not the final time, we're going to be talking about meetups. Join us for the NASCAR Cup Series tomorrow for an exclusive video of JB and JT in a random industrial estate in Scunthorpe. That sounds weird without context.
It does.
But I'm going to make it worse by saying this. Some items may have been transferred between me and JB in a random industrial estate in Scunthorpe.
Okay. That's for the out of context video.
But exclusive, never before seen video, which is still yet to be edited by myself. I will get it edited by tomorrow night to say that I'm literally not sleeping tonight, because we have here in the UK Speedworth TV, who have partnered up with RaceOn, who are live streaming the Supertech 600, which is the most insane stuff ever.
When do you ever sleep, though?
I don't sleep.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
600 laps, 300 laps each night, 100 cars on the same track, no cautions, no rules. The wrecker recovery truck is in the middle of the field recovering vehicles while under racing conditions.
Gosh.
That is the true statement of the European mind cannot comprehend this.
Yes, it is. You're absolutely right about that.
Anyway, we are coming to the greens, so I'm going to shut up because we've got a race to talk about.
Yeah, we do, and it should be an entertaining race around this 2.3-mile oval road course Frankenstein monster, and we are coming to the green flag. As mentioned, JRM, who is in many ways has dominated this Xfinity Series season. They certainly dominated qualifying. They've got the top 5 starting positions all to their own, and the 6th starter is from the Hendrick Motorsports camp, who does a lot of work in their Xfinity Series program with JRM. Connor Zilich and Justin Allgaier on the front row. They have already clinched their spot into the round of 8, but today there are 9 drivers fighting for the final 5 spots into the round of 8. Who is going to get those spots and who's going to be left out? We start finding it all out now. Through the front stretch chicane to the green flag comes the field, and it's time to drop the hammer at the Charlotte Roval for racing in this elimination race. Connor Zilich chose the outside to start on driver's right, and he gets to run through the sharp left-handed turn 1, quick chink to turn 2, then a bit of a downhill run towards a double apex right-hander of 3 and 4. And it's Zilich to driver's right with a nose in front of Allgaier, who is fist-fighting him around the outside. They come out of 4 down this quick chute that runs parallel to the oval's backstretch, and then into turn number 5. Another double apex right-hander here where Zilich takes an acute line through 6. Ahead with the lead from Allgaier, and Sammy Smith is filed in line 3rd. When they come out of 6, they hit the hairpin. Very similar to turn 11 at Sonoma, but it's turning to the left. It is an action point on this racetrack. The leaders get through it cleanly. They got stacked up in the middle of the pack slightly as Austin Hill tried to wedge it 3 wide to the inside of Williams Sawalich, and I believe that was the 16 car who he tried to make it 3 wide with. That brings you onto the oval through the banked section of oval 1 and 2, then down the backstretch, and in the middle of the backstretch there is a chicane. Left, right, left. That's where the field negotiates through here, then back to the oval section for the banked 3 and 4 section, and then when they come off of oval 4, they dive down into the infield for the front stretch chicane. That is a right heavy braking, followed by a left, and as Connor Zilich crosses the line, that is a lap around the Charlotte Roval JT. Zilich is the leader, and it's a clean first lap.
Yeah, absolutely, and as you mentioned, that hairpin, well, NASCAR have decided it's a good idea to put a tyre stack on the inside of it, and hope that no one hits it. As we have a lock-up here, back to the racing, that's the 17 of Carruth, and Well, that's a lot. That's not a lock-up, Matthew. That's a tyre rub, of course. Corey Day, I believe, is in that car this weekend. But, yeah, that is not good for the 70.
And someone's hit him pretty hard on the right rear, Corey Day. He's got a lot of damage. Smoke developing from the right rear. Now he locks up, going into the hairpin, nearly runs into the back of Carson Quaffle. He's got Kaz Grala motoring around his outside as they hit oval 1. Now the smoke begins to disappear, and we've got a car around in the hairpin. It's Anthony Alfredo from Connecticut. Single car spinning the hairpin. Bumper cover is damaged, but he gets it back going. We will see many spins like that throughout the day that will not constitute a full course yellow, as Grala has maneuvered his way around Corey Day, who is struggling here as now that smoke begins again from the rear of the car, JT, and that looks like it's getting awfully close to cutting down a tire, but he does pass up pit road. Let's see what happened to Corey Day as we look at replay on our monitors. He was running in the 5th position. This is at the end of lap 1, starting lap 2, and coming out of turn 1, he lost the rear and hit the wall hard to driver's right.
Yeah, not the best way to start a NASCAR Xfinity race, but here is the replay of Anthony Alfredo. He got spun round by the 10. That is...
Daniel Dye just came flying in. Well, many feet over his head and turned around Alfredo.
Came
Sheldon
in like
Creed
a wrecking ball, you could say.
He did, yes. Sheldon Creed makes a pass at turn 5, getting by Brennan Poole. Now Poole, under braking to the hairpin, has Austin Hill throwing his blue and white number 21 to the inside. Hill is going to pass Poole. Now, others may try to follow. Meanwhile, Daniel Dye just came to pit road at the end of the 2nd lap. He was the one that sent Alfredo around, as we mentioned. Austin Green on the move, and we anticipate to be saying that a good amount of times. In the backstretch chicane, he outbrakes the damaged Corey Day car into the chicane, and Austin Green moves up a position. That's into 9th for Green. Trans Am driver, very experienced road course racer for the son of former Xfinity Series champion David Green. Here's Corey Day, damaged car into the front stretch chicane, and he's got company to his right elbow. Nick Sanchez dives hard into the chicane, bounces aggressively off the curb, makes the pass on Day, moves Sanchez up to 11th. Day backslides to 12th. Sheldon Creed on his bumper cover.
Down through that turn 1 exit of 1 and 2 now. Corey Day, a little bit of bodywork flapping now on that rear right corner. Still smoke was billowing out of it. Not at the moment, but you can see the rear of the car is a little bit squashed, which is why that bodywork is flapping as we look a little bit further back. But now back to that Corey Day car who's under pressure from the 00. Now up to the inside, 3 wide as Austin Hill makes it, and they very nearly missile someone to Narnia.
Austin Hill and Sheldon Creed both sending it hard into that hairpin to the inside of Day. They both make the pass on the blue and white 17 of Corey Day. And now Hill and Creed through oval 1 and 2 are side by side. Door handle to door handle as they leak out onto the backstretch and head towards the chicane, where Austin Hill will have the preferred inside line to driver's left. And he makes the pass on Creed as they bounce hard over the curbing in that backstretch chicane. We're coming to the completion of the 4th lap. Connor Zilich leads from Justin Allgaier, Sammy Smith, Connor Mosack, and Jesse Love. The battle between Hill and Creed just outside of the top 10, 11th and 12th. Of course, Austin Hill starting the day below the playoff cut line by 7 points. Corey Day might be about to lose yet another position in turn number 1 as Daniel Hemrick. I beg your pardon, Christian Eckes, that's another Colin car. Eckes makes his move to the inside of Day and quickly passes him through the turns 1 and 2 section of the racetrack. So Eckes, the rookie driver from New York, moves up a place, and Day is really struggling. He's going to have Brennan Poole, William Sawalich, Matt DiBenedetto, and Taylor Gray next up behind him. Connor Zilich already hitting the oval portion of the track at oval 1. His lead on Justin Allgaier across the line last time was a 1.5 seconds. You might remember, JT, when we did the Portland race a few weeks back. Jack was with us, of course, and Remember early in that race, Connor Zilic had a 15-second lead. I mean, he walks the dog, so to say, on these road courses.
Does, and be with us today, but will hopefully be with us for the NASCAR Cup Series race for the Bank of America Oval 400.
It is Zilic negotiating the front stretch chicane. Comes to the line to complete lap 5 of 20 in this first stage of a 67-lap race. Fight could be on for third here. Across the line, Sammy Smith and Connor Mosak. Smith just in front. Mosak does not attempt to make a pass under braking to turn number 1. Clean start for the leaders. It's been Corey Day, who has not had a clean start, along with Anthony Alfredo. And speaking of Day, now Brennan Poole tries to attack him in turn 1. William Sawalich cues up the back door as well. Day gets loose out of turn 2, opens up the door to the inside for turn 3. Poole does not try to stick a foot in there, but William Sawalich will at turn 4, and he runs into Poole. Poole makes a great save, slides it wide into the grass to driver's left. Matt DiBenedetto goes by, along with a couple of other cars, including Taylor Gray. It's a good save, however, by Brennan Poole, as William Sawalich massaged him out of the groove.
Down we head now into the hairpin, and all single file, all clean as far as we can see now, onto the banking at ovals turn 1 and 2, onto the backstretch on board with Taylor Gray.
Austin Hill and Nick Sanchez approaching the backstretch chicane. Two drivers that come into this race below the playoff cut line. They are running nose to tail just outside the top 10. Believe Hill has just made that pass on Sanchez, and he has, to take over the 11th position. So we'll be watching those two drivers throughout the day for sure, Hill and Sanchez, as they fight to get above that cut line. Stage points will be very important for all of these playoff drivers. Again, it's 9 drivers fighting for 5 spots, with 3 positions into the next round already clinched. Here is William Sawalich at turn 1 to the inside of Day, and Sawalich is going to make that pass. And Benedetto's going to try to do it as well in turn 2, but can't. Seems like Corey Day, JT, the car is obviously very compromised, but he's at his most vulnerable, it seems, in turn 1. That's where guys are getting around him very easily.
Yeah, just having a look at the rear left of that car here, you can see how out of line it is, and how that knock on the rear right has pushed the whole axle to the left a little bit, as now we are back into the hairpin, and now the 99 trying to get up the inside of the 17 side by side. Sanchez and Creed.
Out of oval 2, Creed pinched on the bottom there by Sanchez, was loose through the banked corners, but Creed holds on to it, and as they get into the backstretch chicane, Creed will make that pass on Sanchez. So that moves Sheldon Creed up into the 12th position in the live standings. Creed holding the final spot above the cut line by just 3 points on Taylor Gray. Sammy Smith, by running in the 3rd position currently in the live standings, has jumped his way above the cut line at +7 after starting below the cut line. 7 laps complete of 20 in stage 1.
Which we now head into turn 1 and turn 2. Austin Hill getting very close to the wall, got a little loose, but corrected himself. Did that 21 Bennett sponsored car, as Honeyman is dropping down the order at the moment, and he's not showing us in the pit, so maybe he cut a chicane and had to stop somewhere, as Austin Hill currently 11th.
Still trying to work his way up, just in behind Eric Almirola. Oh, the one and only, Almirola's very wide coming out of the hairpin. And as they get into oval 1, Austin Hill is going to get to his inside, and looks like he's going to make the pass rather simply, and he is. So move Austin Hill into the top 10. Of course, these were the two that had the coming together at Indianapolis that resulted in Hill getting suspended for the Iowa race, as Hill really cooked it up into the backstretch chicane. Lost it just a bit off the curbing, but is able to stay in front of Almirola. Austin Hill up to 10th. I was going to say the one and only Cole Trickle is in the comments section. used to live in Charlotte, hung out a lot at the Speedway, he says. Very good. Glad to have you with us. And Bob says turn 7 is a killer. Yeah. Now that hairpin was basically the new addition to the racetrack last year. Caused a lot of chaos and probably will here this weekend as well. Bob also says day's damage may not be fixable in this race. You might be right about that. It's going to be a long day for Corey, who started 6th but has already fallen outside the top 10. Now, almost is on cue, JT, with Austin Hill and Eric Almirola racing together. The CW chooses to show us the replay of that coming together in Indianapolis from a couple of months back. It led to the suspension of Hill. It also led to Hill losing all of his playoff points, which is, of course, the biggest reason why he enters this race today below the cut line.
Wasn't the best, was it? And, well,
No.
the first rule of stock car racing is learn how to wreck someone without wrecking yourself. Come on.
The white glove did him no favors in pleading his case of innocence.
And many Austin Hill moments followed that moment as well.
Indeed. Connor Zilic just beat Justin Allgaier last lap by nearly a full second. 9/10 he beat Allgaier by. Now Zilic is up by 3.4 seconds at the front of this field. Connor Mosack in third is 8 seconds behind. Mosack a regular in the truck series with the McAnally Hilgeman Racing team. His rookie season in the truck campaign, he sits 14th in the championship standings down there. He's a 26-year-old from Charlotte, getting to run with JRM here this weekend. Further back, and I do mean much further back, JT, Harrison Burton started the day below the cut line, and he has not made up much ground from his starting position that was deep in the field. Where is he, Harrison Burton? He's 25th, right behind Cousin Chev, right in front of last week's winner, Brandon Jones. Harrison's going to need a lot to go his way today, it would seem, because he does not look to have a race car capable of getting to the front.
Yeah, absolutely. As we look further back to the 27 and the 25, and that was Jeb Burton trying to go deep into the corner around the outside of the 11 of Daniel Hemrick, but it's the elimination race in the round of 12 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We've got 10 laps remaining in stage 1.
Those stage points are going to play a vital role in determining who makes it through this elimination race today. By the way, Cole Trickle mentioning in the comments, Humpy Wheeler, of course, the longtime track promoter at Charlotte that just passed away, of course, earlier this year, NASCAR Hall of Famer, said would always leave the front gate open back in the 1990s so fans could sit in the stands for free when there was nothing much going on. Humpy did a lot of great things. That's why he's heading to the Hall of Fame. And he was extremely fan-friendly. Corey Day about to lose another position, opened up the door to his inside in turn 1 for Taylor Gray. And Gray, the young rookie driver from New Mexico, thought he was going to make the pass. He didn't, but by the time he gets to turn 3 and 4, he's going to try the crossover, get to the right elbow of Day. As they shoot towards 5, Gray's going to make this pass. Gray finished second on the road course in Mexico City earlier this year, behind only Daniel Suarez. So watch for him today, and Taylor moves up a spot as Corey just continues to fall down the running order. And now who is that behind him, JT, that's going to try to get around him in the hairpin, and doing so, Josh Balicki.
Josh Balicki getting involved as well, but here is Day trying to defend, but just doesn't have the power as Balicki now trying to defend from the 11, who is on an absolute charge here of Hemrick.
Hemrick trying to move forward as further towards the front, Carson Quaffle and Jesse Love entangled in a battle for the 6th position through turn 1. Love has that spot. Quaffle is trying to take it away. That JRM 1st through 5 running order that we had at the start. Right now JRM cars are 1st through 4th. Sam Mayer is up to 5th, and then comes this 6th place battle between Love and Quaffle. Waffle, a rookie driver that will not be full-time in the Xfinity Series next year, unfortunately. He's going to have to share time with Connor Zilich in a JRM Xfinity car next year. Rodney Childers will be the crew chief of that effort. That was announced here recently. So Waffle, at least for now, only has this year to contend for a championship. Started the day 9 points above the cut line, running solidly in the 7th position, but he is not able to make any kind of an attempt at a pass at Jesse Love in the backstretch chicane. And chaos in the hairpin. Brennan Poole slides wide, and to his outside coming out of the hairpin was Corey Day, and Poole pinches Day into the wall, so even more damage, JT, to that already wounded 17 car.
Yeah, it was always going to trip up or get bumped into if he was in the way at the hairpin, because not having the power doesn't get away quicker than other cars, and he's just going to become a little bit of a block. I think there's a barbecue on the inside of turns 2 and 4. I can see the smoke. The fans having a nice time as we head into the chicane on the front stretch.
7.5 seconds now, his lead on Justin Allgaier. Zilich is bossing this. That's very dramatic news music.
Welcome to for you, I guess.
Yeah. Well, might need to clip that music to use it somewhere down the line. But anyway, carry on. 8 to go here in this stage. And we focus back on Harrison Burton running back in the 29th position. So he's fallen even further back than he was when we were focused in on him not too long ago. So Harrison really struggling here. And, well, might struggle the rest of the day, unfortunately.
So, on to the backstretch now. Harrison Burton in towards the chicane. The number 25 car gets a little bit of a twitch, and that makes him slow out of the chicane. And he is slow on the banking, but he's picking up speed now, that 25 car, but he gets overtaken and it's still a little slow. Side by side now, the 2 of Jesse Love, the 1 and the 2 side by side of Love and Quaffle.
Come up out of turn 6 and race towards the hairpin. Who's going to play the game of chicken on the brakes the best? I guess the answer to that is Love, as he spins it down the inside. Harrison got troubles, JT. You said he got overtaken by a car in oval 3 and 4, and I thought he was coming to pit road. He was running so slow, but he hasn't come to pit road, and he's run down the front stretch at that very slow pace, and I think Harrison's got a real issue. He's creeping downhill towards turn 2.
It did look like he gained speed, though, after that chicane, but it must have died out again. But that, he should have come down pit road. I don't know why he didn't. And hopefully he'll be able to get it back around. But here's Quaffle looking to go up the inside of Jesse Love at the chicane. Isn't able to. Quaffle locks up.
Harrison's pulling his car off the track on the outside turn 3. And outside of turn 4, I beg your pardon. We'll see if this will turn into a caution. He tried to get into an opening behind a barrier, but he hasn't gotten fully behind that said barrier. So they might have to throw a caution here. Apparently it is a fuel pressure issue here for Harrison Burton. And that's a shame. That'll end his playoffs, as he has already gone a lap down. While Love and Quaffle continue to joust for 6th, and there's the caution flag now waving, as Harrison cannot pull that car any further towards that opening in the barrier outside of 4, so the caution has to come out for safety purposes. And for Harrison Burton, who scrapped and clawed his way into the playoffs will be the first to be eliminated from the round of 12 here. Hearing that it is a fuel pressure issue and it is terminal for Harrison Burton as his playoffs will come to an end. That is a shame for the driver. Just got married not too long ago. A handful of days ago he did. So that will be an elimination, JT. You can mark Harrison Burton off of your bracket. And now for the remainder of this race, it will be 8 drivers fighting for 5 advancing positions.
Well, you say that. I don't know where my marker O Doom is, and I haven't seen my marker O Doom since Le Mans back in June. Then again, I don't even have anything to mark off, so yeah. It's all done digitally for NASCAR, and it is amazing. Then again, it's all done digitally for Le Mans, but it's nice having the pieces of paper. "52 laps to go."
Well, I'm having to pause because you'll be stunned to hear this. Seth sending me very stupid messages in DMs. What else is new? My goodness. Well,
I have found my marker O Doom.
Oh, very good.
I will physically get a piece of paper, and I will physically... Look, I have... Let me just grab that. Let me do some magic on the stream again. Hold on.
Come on. You can do it.
Caution activities. I will have to take my camera off of Discord, though, so goodbye, Matthew.
Oh, goodbye.
It shall return after said shenanigans have been completed. And it... Okay. There we go. It looks really weird with just me here, but you're gonna have to deal with it. Right, so I have the 2025 National Series schedule. So let's find Roval and just put H Burton, and for the record and for the fun times, marker O Doom. Wow. Truly inspirational. You wouldn't have been able to sleep if you did not see me do that just now.
I agree.
And now, unfortunately, Matthew has to see my face again. Hello.
Oh, good question by Bob in the comments. See if anyone's going to come to pit road and try to flip the stage, give up stage points to get track position back when this stage does come to an end. We're about to find out the answer to that because pit road will be open this time round. Zilich, Allgaier, Mosack, Smith, and Mayer, the top 5. Pit road is open. It looks like just about everybody is going to come to pit road. Nick Sanchez stays out along with Matt DiBenedetto. Important for Sanchez. Let's go to pit road.
Turns 1 and 7, but I don't think I'm losing roll speed. They're going to make a slight air pressure adjustment on those Goodyear tires. Also take Sunoco fuel below him. Connor Zilich, good for Connor, back for the field. He says the car feels pretty good. No adjustments. They reminded him to be gentle on the curves, Dylan.
Justin Allgaier just said that the left rear was his biggest issue. Looks like just an air pressure adjustment, 4 tires and fuel. Sammy Smith said he was a little bit tight in some areas, a little bit loose in others. They're attributing some of that to the cup rubber that was laid down on the racetrack. Don't think they're going to make any too big of a change on the 8 car.
How about this race off pit road? It's Allgaier first off progressive pit road. Zilich loses one. Smith up a spot, plus 2 for Jesse Love. Sam Mayer stays in the top 5. Almirola goes plus 4. And Austin Hill, who is in desperate need of stage points, goes plus 2 there.
So, Allgaier beats Zilich off of pit road, but as I mentioned, Nick Sanchez stayed out. And the reason for that, of course, being because Sanchez started the day 5 points below the cut line, and he is hoping to steal some stage points that he was not in position to get before the caution. But if he can get some, see if he can push his way into the round of 8. Winning the stage, probably unlikely for Sanchez with so many or so few cars staying out behind him. He's going to have guys like Allgaier and Zilich and so on fresh tires knocking on his back door. But he can finish 4th, 5th, 6th in the stage and steal a handful of points. That would be huge for Nick. And he wouldn't mind having a whole bunch more caution laps. He really would. He'd like to see, what, we got 4 to go in the stage. He'd like to see about 3 more caution laps. I just have to run 1 lap under green. Should get 1 to go this time around, or they may even give it. They give it this time because we have the alternate point at the racetrack, JT, where they give 1 to go on these road courses, and they have, haven't they? They've given 1 to go, and they've done the choose already, so we're going to get 3 full laps here to end this stage.
Well, you've said it now, Matthew, haven't you?
Oh, I have, yeah.
Watch it be caution turn 1 because of a certain 17 car.
4 drivers stayed out, so at the front of this field on the restart will be Nick Sanchez and Matt DiBenedetto in row 1, Jeb Burton and Parker Retzlaff in row 2. Followed by the drivers that all stopped, Allgaier, Zilich, Smith, Love, Mayer, and Quaffle, rounding out the top 10, and stage points meaning so much for Sanchez, Smith, Love, Mayer, Quaffle, Hill, Creed. Boy, they all matter for those drivers if they can get them. And again, 3 full laps here to end this stage, and for Sanchez on old tires, 16-lap old tires, I should say, and so many from 5th on back behind him on fresh tires. Going to be a tough challenge for Nick Sanchez, but he needs to, at the very least, get some points here, even if he falls to 4th, 5th, 6th, as I said. Getting some points here, massive for Nick Sanchez. So the Toyota Gazoo Racing Super Pace car comes to pit road. Sanchez going to bring the field into the front stretch chicane in the restart zone. He's going to restart the driver's right, with Matt DiBenedetto to his left. Green flag up in the air, 3 to go in the stage, and already Justin Allgaier's on the attack. He's going to stack it up 3 wide, but Connor Zilich around his outside is going to go past Allgaier as Allgaier tried to get around Retzlaff on old shoes, but Zilich hits by Allgaier. Now Zilich in turn 3, under braking, is going to get around Matt DiBenedetto. Chesty Love's going to open up the door to the inside of Allgaier, and Love passes Allgaier. Then he doors DiBenedetto out of 3, and then into 4. And it is total madness. Parker Retzlaff is the stopper in the bottom on old tires. Austin Green hops the curb at 5, nearly gets into him. At the front, it's Sanchez with the lead, but I don't think he's going to have it for much longer, JT, because Zilich has already gone to 2nd. Sammy Smith makes it 4 wide in the hairpin. Can you believe it? He got to the inside of DiBenedetto, Quaffle, and Mayer. They were 4 abreast in the hairpin, and by the time they get to Oval 1, Sam Mayer's getting roughed up by Austin Hill. They all keep it pointed the right direction. I don't know how. And here's Zilich on the backstretch chicane, JT, looking for the lead. And it's no contest, no low contendere, as Zilich on the fresh tires passes Sanchez.
Benedetto still getting involved. Slow car on the outside. That's 41 of Sam Mayer, who comes down in the way of Carson Quaffle and very nearly wrecks him.
Yeah, it's madness. We're about 5th on back. As in the front stretch chicane, Jesse Love passes Nick Sanchez for 2nd. So Love is in position to score 9 stage points if it stays this way. Sanchez into turn 1, holding on to 3rd. Behind him is Jeb Burton on old tires 4th. Justin Allgaier going to try to make quick work of Burton. Restart did not go the way of Allgaier. He is going to go around the outside of Jeb Burton fairly easily and make the pass on him and the 3 and 4 section of the racetrack. I can't believe they made it through that hairpin, JT, 4 wide. That's unbelievable.
NASCAR shenanigans at Charlotte Roval? What?
Yeah.
That's impossible.
And Allgaier in the hairpin makes quick work of Sanchez too. Sanchez slips back to 4th. Perhaps he can hold it around there for the next lap and a half. We'll next have Sammy Smith and Karsten Quappel just in behind him. Sam Mayer, by the way, totally missed the backstretch chicane on the last lap. That's why he was so slow. And he's done it again, has he? Oh, my goodness, yeah. Mayer goes very deep into the backstretch chicane for a second lap in a row, JT. Has to come to a complete stop. And now he gets back going, but Mayer has really thrown away positions and points here by missing that backstretch chicane twice in a row. Coming to start the last lap of the stage, Zilich leads from Love and Allgaier, and Sanchez just lost 4th to Sammy Smith. He might lose 5th and does in turn 1 to Karsten Quappel. Just behind Sanchez, you have Austin Hill, Doring, Jeb Burton. Eric Almirola's in the middle of this. He's going to send it hard into turn 3 to get around Jeb Burton. What chaos this is.
Welcome to the Charlotte Roval, everyone. That was contact there getting involved. That was Swallows and Creed, I do believe, as we head up towards the hairpin.
Connor Mostack makes contact with a car. That may have been Brennan Poole. Meanwhile, at the hairpin, second position is up for grabs. Justin Allgaier tried to take it from Jesse Love. He couldn't. Eric Almirola gets the field stacked up in the hairpin. They're 4 wide again in the hairpin. Connor Mostack down the inside of 3 cars. He passes Sawalich. He passes Eckes. He passes Burton. And Mostack with a triple overtake in the hairpin. Dear me. Austin Hill's gotten around Sanchez. That puts Sanchez in 7th. He may be able to stay there before he gets to the flag. Eric Almirola's charging behind him. Sam Mayer's trying to make up ground further back. But at the front of the field, Connor Zilich is clear of everyone, and through the front stretch chicane he comes. And with the green and white checkered flag waving, Connor Zilich scores the Stage 1 win. They're side by side at the line behind him for second. Love gets that by a nose over Allgaier. Smith is 4th, Quappel is 5th, Hill is 6th, and Nick Sanchez does hold on to 7th. So that's 4 stage points for Nick Sanchez. So through all of that, JT, Nick Sanchez was not in position to score stage points. They stay out. Did lose 6th position, but still gets 4 very important points.
Yeah, and that will make him be able to have more strategy coming into the later races. Of course, stage 2, another 20-lap stage, the same distance we just had then, but actually shorter because we have the guaranteed caution laps as well. But then again, we also had a caution in stage 1, so yeah. We'll see what caution is longer, the one that we had in stage 1 for an incident, or the stage break. And knowing NASCAR, it's probably going to be the stage break, which is longer.
Oh my goodness. So, action-packed first 20 laps here in the...
Can I be the bearer of bad news? Sorry, Matthew. Sure. I hate to break it to you, Cole Trickle, but Rockingham Speedway here in the UK does no longer exist.
Ah.
It closed in 2018. So sad, I know. The only banked oval we have in the UK... So, the only official banked oval we have in the UK now is Henderson Hills Raceway, which is a quarter-mile banked oval for hot rods. We have Arlington Raceway down on the south coast in Eastbourne, which isn't officially banked, but it has like 1 degree, 2 degrees of banking. It is truly thrilling stuff. But if you do want banked, a banked oval, the quarter-mile Henderson Hills Raceway is the place to go now. But just a word of warning: if you do go to Hendersford Hills Raceway, there is a small chance that you have to hear JB Motorsports' own Nathan Richard on the commentaries. So up to you. Do you want to watch motorsports while having to listen to a JB Motorsports commentator, or let me see if I can find out the banking of Hendersford Hills Raceway. Also, a word of warning: Hendersford Hills is in Birmingham, and that is all I have to say about that.
Road not open this time. Oh, jeez.
I might actually be able to get a photo up of Hendersford Hills to demonstrate the banking.
And do they turn left or right on that oval?
Both.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to demonstrate the banking because on our photos it is really hard to demonstrate the banking. Let's instead, for this one, let's use the radar screen, not the laps and rundown, because the radar screen has a plain background on it and it's easy to work with. This has become such an off the rails broadcast, and again, every single broadcast is off the rails here on JB Motorsports.
Yeah, why is it not?
I just press cancel instead of submit.
Well, that's okay.
Okay, this is Hendersford Hills Raceway. I guess I should say that the photo is courtesy of the Stocks Net archive and Stocks carts. You can kind of see at the top where the banking is. You can kind of see the banking. Also, I've just realised how cursed the bottom banner looks on that. Let me quickly fix that. Oh. There we go. But yeah, it does indeed have banking, and it doesn't look like it, but yes, that is a quarter mile.
Yeah. Yeah, I could believe that. Well, very good. Glad there's still a couple of functioning ovals over there for you.
Matthew, by the power of buttons, you have just become louder.
Huh, well. I'm sure most people are probably saying that that's a shame. They don't want to hear more of me. They'd like to hear less of me. Apparently they are talking to WWE people on pit road with the CW, or some kind of fighting thing that I don't know anything about. I don't know. A bunch of people with a lot of skin showing.
Thank you for that information. At what is it? 10:53 p.m. in the UK. Thank you for that.
By the way, Harrison Burton has continued in the race, and he gets the free pass. As pit road is open this time, but there's not a lot of takers, being that most of them were just on pit road. But Nick Sanchez does have to come on pit road, JT. After getting those important stage points, he's in the pits now to pay off that penalty, if you will, for staying out.
Yeah, and shall we go down to pits? I think they're down at pits. CW.
They're going to be buried in traffic. Their car has not been very good either. Nick said that it was not turning at all. He said, I don't even know what to do. So they're going to make a pretty big air pressure adjustment here. I think it's all four ends of the race car, and a chassis adjustment you see there as the wrench goes in the back window. 4 tires and fuel, and hopefully some handling adjustments for Sanchez to help him drive through the field.
Never know how the game is going to play out. Got to take advantage of opportunities. Sanchez did a good job of making that 48 wide as we wrapped up the opening stage. Charlotte Motor Speedway, 20.
Yes, it is indeed Charlotte Motor Speedway. I have gotten a list of the ORCI tracks that we have in the UK. We have ORCI tracks and we have non-ORCI tracks. It's basically governing body. Think Speedway Motorsports that own all of the circuits over there in the US, but they are the ones that make the rules and stuff. You have Agadowie, Aldershot, Odsal, which is also a shale oval with a rugby pitch in the middle of it. You can't get more British than that. You probably can. Mendips Buxton, Cowdenbeath in Scotland, which is a tarmac racetrack with a soccer pitch on the inside.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Crimond, Arlington, Yarmouth, Hendersford, Ipswich, Kings Lynn, Knockhill. They've returned to the Oval at Knockhill for the first time in 15 years. Lochelley, Mildenhall, Northampton, Nuts Corner, Don't Laugh, Sheffield, which is unfortunately closed now. Skegness, St Day, Taunton, Tipperary, Tullyrone, and the Netherlands are also big on it as well. So if you are in the Netherlands, look at the local track there. But then again, Dutch stock car fans are crazy, and that is coming from experience. Expect the unexpected. We also have tons of like non-ORCI tracks. Like, for example, we have 2 raceways within 2 miles of each other. Ringwood Matchams Raceway and Ringwood Cheetahs Raceway, because why the hell not? And yes, if you are in the UK, Ringwood Matchams did close, and well, without it really being announced, it just magically reopened again. So there you are. If you thought it was still closed, it isn't. I could go on and on and on, but we've got NASCAR Xfinity Motor Race going on.
I will take this opportunity to tell everyone that on Tuesday...
On this day in motorsports?
No, I should have had that pulled up, shouldn't I? On Tuesday of this coming up week, USRN becomes the Ultimate Sports Network on YouTube. And we've got live hockey coming your way on Tuesday on the YouTube channel on the Ultimate Sports Network.
Shall I just do some live editing right now? Hold on.
Oh, sure.
Let me copy the USRN logo, put them over each other. I bet this behind the scenes stream has been absolutely incredible for the members.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, live hockey, opening night of the NHL season, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday night. The 2-time reigning Stanley.
That is stupid in the top right. My God.
Why we went with many others other than that one. And then at 8 o'clock, the New York Rangers take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. We'll have those two for you Tuesday night as, again, USRN becomes the Ultimate Sports Network on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we'll have a fun endeavor out on YouTube. NBA season starts here in just a couple of weeks. We'll start our YouTube endeavor by having plenty of hockey and basketball. That'll include college basketball when that season starts next month. We'll have plenty of football for you, and then, of course, by the time we get to next February, everything that has been on USRN will be on the new network on YouTube. And that'll include all the racing coverage as well.
Please tell me we're on one to go to save us.
We are, yes, and we are doubled up. Thank heaven.
We also, final UK short oval racing plug, we also have NASCAR style restarts.
Oh, okay, very good.
We do. We have cautions gets thrown for the hot rod formulas, so 2 litre hot rods, rookie rods, national hot rods, and all that stuff. They do 2 laps under the pace car. They come round. At the end of the lap, they do the choose, and then they do a 2x2 rolling restart. Such an original idea, guys. But it has drastically improved the racing. So I approve. On this day, October the 4th, Who was born? Ty Gibbs.
Well, we'll do more at the next yellow. Being that we did just totally forget that. If Matt's not here, then I just totally forget that. Anyway. In towards the restart zone we come to get stage 2 underway. Connor Zilich on the outside of row 1. Jesse Love to his left. Green flag up in the air, and stage 2 gets back underway here in Charlotte. Zilich charges hard into turn 1 and is able to make the corner, and he gets clear to the lead with Love behind him second. Sammy Smith is third. Justin Allgaier falls in line fourth, and then Carson Quaffle in fifth. They make their way to turns 3 and 4, and they start to fan out in the middle of the pack. Sam Mayer gets to the right elbow of William Sawalich as they shoot towards turn 5. Here's Connor Mosak. He comes very close to making contact with Christian Eckes through 5. They rise uphill and then dip back downhill for turn 6. Sweeping right-hander, which is going to lead you to this hairpin where all the chaos has been. We've been 4 wide on this hairpin twice already. Keep it down to 2 abreast this time. Connor Zilich away with the lead, followed by Love. Side by side is Austin Hill and Carson Quaffle out of Oval 2, motoring down the back straightaway. Hill's got the inside line for the backstretch chicane. Quaffle pinches him down onto the curbing. Now Quaffle's got inside line for the right-hander, but coming out of the chicane, Austin Hill's going to take the position. Sheldon Creed is going to try to follow him through. Looks like he will through Oval 3 and 4. So Hill moves up into 5th. Creed will follow him 6th. Quaffle slides back to 7th. Underbraking to the front stretch chicane. Hill is hard over the curbing. That blue curbing coming into that front stretch chicane, and Hill hit it hard. He's already got, because the caution laps, of course, do count for the stages, we're already down to 15 laps to go in this stage. No issue of pitting in this stage if it stays green. Of course, if the caution comes out, then we can talk about that, but you do not have to pit in this stage. Live playoff standings now that we've had the restart and all the stage points have been awarded. Right now it's Austin Hill holding the final spot above the cut line by just 1 point. Below the cut line is Sammy Smith, -1. Keep you updated throughout the evening. As into the hairpin, Connor Mosak and Sam Mayer are nose to nose. Mosak has the inside. He's going to stay ahead of Mayer back at the 10th position. I mentioned Sammy Smith -1. Taylor Gray is -5. Nick Sanchez is -25. And Harrison Burton is -43. That's the live playoff standings as we've just gotten stage 2 started. Got a replay popping up on screen here. And what's happened in the hairpin this time, JT? Oh, it's Matt DiBenedetto has been shoved by Corey Day. Good save by the 99 of DiBenedetto.
And there was a lot of smoke on that first lap from the back of the pack, and well, I only assume that it was Corey Day who is, well, smoking once again and sliding round Oval 4 and into the front chicane we go, bouncing over the curbs.
Nick Sanchez, of course, mired in traffic after going with the alternate strategy of staying out in that stage 1 caution and then pitting at the end of the stage once it was over. He's in a bunch of traffic. DiBenedetto was also on that strategy. That's why he's back here. Same with Parker Retzloff, who's just in behind him. We've got a car stopped on the racetrack. Where is that? That's just before turn 6. Caution will come out. Josh Williams is the car that stopped between turns 5 and 6. And we get a full course yellow.
Does that mean we get to talk more about random stuff?
It does, and shall I pull up the birthdays and on this day?
While you do that, I'm going to set up another random thing on my randomness screen that we have made today.
How many screens do you have?
Well, you can find out by looking at the JBM behind the scenes members. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 is blacked out because it sometimes has TV pictures on and we don't want to get banished.
No, don't want that.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then I have preview and program, which is 15 and 16. Then I have an audio mixer in the middle that makes 17. and that's just on one monitor. By the way, I could probably give a little bit of a sneak peek to the behind the scenes members. Because I am the one that is in charge of the behind the scene members, and if I say it's okay, well, JB can't stop me because he's asleep. I will warn you, there might be a little bit of an infinity screen, but
not an Xfinity screen, but an infinity.
Thank you for that. That is what the behind the scenes looks like. That looks trippy. So, yeah. That is the live feed that you can see if you become a member of the YouTube channel member. And just like that, I'm going to press a button. Whoosh. Brilliant content on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
This is where I get DM'd by JB in the morning going, you leaked something you shouldn't have. I was like, I double checked it.
Okay, let's go on this day in racing real quick. On this October the 4th, as JT said, Ty Gibbs, celebrating his 23rd birthday, was born on this day in 2002. Good God, does that make me feel old.
That was 23 years ago, Matthew.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Also celebrating a birthday today, Sarah Fisher, turning 45 today, as I did the quick math in my head. I never claimed to be a math major, don't you know? Let's see. Anyone else here that have a birthday? Well, Fats Caruso has a birthday on this day. Steve Marshall.
I need to load up another image. Be right back.
And here we go. Gaston Chevrolet was born on this day many years ago. Former Indianapolis 500 winner. He won the 1920 Indianapolis 500. Did Gaston Chevrolet. He only led 14 laps, started from third, and went on to win for his team that was owned by William Small. Also, absolutely love getting to talk about Indianapolis 500 history. Gaston Chevrolet, born on this day in 1892. Now,
of course you do, Mayor.
Now, on this day, last year, Craftsman Truck Series, they were at Talladega running the Love's RV Stock 225. That was won by Alabama native Grant Enfinger. On this day in 2021, a rain-short NASCAR Cup Series race at Talladega was won by Darrell Wallace Jr. Wallace scoring his first career Cup Series win on this day in 2021. Also on this day in 2020, 8 Hours of Indianapolis, won by Nicky Katzberg, Connor D. Filippi, and Augusto Farfus. Also on that same day in 2020, Cup Series at Talladega again, the Yellowwood 500 wild finish. It was won by Denny Hamlin. On this day in 2019, Sam Mayer, who's in the field for this race, won a K&N Pro Series East race at Dover, the General Tire 125. On this day in 2015, Kevin Harvick, from below the cut line, won his way into the next round of the playoffs by winning the AAA 400 at Dover. On this day in, where I'm at, thank you. On this day in 2014, the Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta, won by Ricky Taylor, Jordan Taylor, and Max Angelelli. Whoa, what a throwback name that is. Mad Max Angelelli, wow. On this day, also in 2014, the Nationwide Series was at Kansas. Kyle Busch scored the win that day. On this day in 2013, also at Kansas, in ARCA, Frank Kimmel, ARCA legend, won the Kansas Lottery 98.9. I am not kidding, that was the name of the race. On this day in 2009, Tony Stewart went to victory lane in the NASCAR Cup Series Price Chopper 400 at Kansas. Also on that same day in 2009, Formula One at Suzuka for the Fuji Television Japanese Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel won for Red Bull. On this day in 2008, The Truck Series at Talladega for the Mountain Dew 250 fueled by Winn-Dixie was won by Todd Bodine. Of course, Bodine was so terrific in that era in the Truck Series everywhere, but especially on the super speedways. Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta in 2008 was also run. Emanuele Pirro, Alan McNish, and Renato Capello winning that one. I continue to search through here. On this day in 2003, Truck Series was at South Boston Speedway. What a great racetrack that was to run the John Boy and Billy 250, won by Dennis Setzer. Also on that same day, a wild Busch race at Kansas was won by David Green, the Mr. Good Sense 300. That was a wild finish. Michael Waltrip was leading late, blew a tire. That caused a restart with 1 lap to go when Bobby Hamilton Jr. was the leader, but his car failed and got crashed by Greg Biffle in turn 1. David Green got through and won the race. On this day in 1998, Mark Martin won right here at Charlotte in the UAW GM Quality 500. Dario Franchitti also on that day won the CART Texaco Grand Prix of Houston. On this day in 1997, Busch race here at Charlotte, the All-Pro Bumper-to-Bumper 300 was won by Jimmy Spencer. 1992, kart race at Pennsylvania International Raceway was won by Bobby Rahal. Nazareth, don't you know. On this day in 1987 at North Wilkesboro, Terry Labonte won the Holly Farms 400. Dale Earnhardt in 1986 won the All-Pro 300 Busch race here at Charlotte. Emerson Fittipaldi in 1986 won at Road America. In the kart series, 1981 at North Wilkesboro, Cup race won by Darrell Waltrip, the Holly Farms 400. 1981 kart race at Watkins Glen was won by Rick Mears. 1970, the Wilkes 400 at North Wilkesboro was won by Bobby Isaac. On this day in 1964, Formula One United States Grand Prix at Watkins Glen, won by Graham Hill. That has been on this day in racing. And it's just perfect timing because here comes the field through the restart zone. Green flag goes back up into the air. 10 laps to go here in stage number 2 at Charlotte, and Connor Zilich again takes off on the restart. He's clear to the lead in turn 1. They're fist fighting behind him for second. Jesse Love sneaks down the inside of Sammy Smith to take over the spot. So it's Love to second. Smith is third. Justin Allgaier is in line fourth. Austin Hill behind him fifth. Side by side at seventh. Carson Waffle off of turn number 4. Glides up, collides with Eric Almirola, shoves Almirola wide. And Sam Mayer further back in traffic trying to pick up positions. He's to the inside of Connor Mosack as they clear turn 6 and head to the hairpin. Here's Austin Hill in that hairpin. He's been making a lot of passes here, and he makes a pass here on Justin Allgaier. And just behind those two, Carson Quaffle veers into the side of Sheldon Creed. Keep it pointed the right direction, but that hairpin is chaos, and we've got some smoke developing from the left front of Sheldon Creed's car and the right front of Carson Quaffle. Those two came together in the hairpin. Now a tire rub for both. Quaffle has it coming together with Allgaier in the backstretch chicane. Those two teammates slide through the chicane. They see that hairpin causes more chaos.
As expected, as we have a look at the replay now, back to live pictures side by side through the front chicane. Quaffle defending from Moser, and as Quaffle still defending in towards turn 1, Moser tried to go up the inside, wasn't successful. A couple of positions back, Christian Eckers getting involved as well.
Austin Green fist fighting William Sawalich just outside the top 10 through turn 2. Nearly squeezed Sawalich into the wall to driver's right. They keep it pointed the right direction. Race through the right-handers of turns 3 and 4. Now down this chute towards 5. Sawalich has the inside line on Green. Going to 5. Just in behind those two, Alex LeBay, Canadian driver, really good on these road courses. Further up in the hairpin, here's Mosack, hard under braking, locks up the left front, nearly collided into his teammate Quaffle, stayed off of him, but he got run into from behind by Sam Mayer, and Mayer is able to take that position from Mosack. That's for 8th, but Mosack's going to rally back around the outside of oval 1 and 2. And Mayer down the inside of Mosack on the backstretch chicane. Going to complete the pass, Will Mayer, as he bounces hard off the front stretch, make that the back stretch chicane curbing. Mayer up to 9th, up to 8th rather. Through that exchange that all started in the hairpin when Mosak tried to avoid Quaffle and Mayer harpooned him from behind.
How not to get past the hairpin 101.
Exactly right.
Also, I'm a little bit concerned, Matthew, while we're single file.
Oh.
I went downstairs to get my camera, to get the SD card out of it, to pull up a photo. My SD card isn't in that camera. The last time I remember using my SD card was Thursday afternoon in a college PC.
Oh no.
My college has 1,400 students in it this year.
Oh.
It could be anywhere. Anyway, Sheldon Creed into the hairpin.
Yeah, it could be anywhere, that's for sure. By the way, there's a comment here that you'll love this one, JT. There's a comment down here. So next year they'll all be driving as fast as O'Reilly's Auto Park?
They'll be braking as quickly as... What? Yeah. I was gonna... The picture that I was going to get was in relation to Cole Trickle's comment. As down the inside we have Nick Sanchez locking up, making a move. Move is complete. That was on Christian Eckers through the backstretch chicane. Yeah. Saying ship some yellow American school buses over there and do figure of 8 with those like we do over here. I bet that would pack the grandstand full. It would. We do better. We do Reliant Robbins figure of 8. And we also Ringwood Raceway broke a record at the beginning of last month. The amount of caravans on the track at the same time in a caravan destruction derby. Last caravan wins. They had 19 caravans on the track at the same time. I was going to pull up a photo of how it ended, but I don't know where my SD card is.
Oh dear.
And I'm not in college tomorrow because I have Mondays off.
Oh, well, that's nice of you.
So bank holiday weekend every week.
Oh, wow.
Justin Allgaier.
Yeah, in the hairpin, got very close to Austin Hill. I'd like to have Mondays off. This is the battle for 4th, going to the back chicane. Hill's going to hold on to this spot. Cole Trickle also says, I'll be staying as fast as O'Reilly's warehouse worker ordering his own parts, because that's where you can get parts the fastest.
We just worked out how to get instant delivery work for O'Reilly's Auto Parts and order the auto parts from the warehouse you work at. The plan is coming together, Matthew Owens.
There's something coming together.
Here's a replay of Alfredo and Dye.
Yeah, speaking of coming together, Daniel Dye and Anthony Alfredo. Alfredo sending Dye wide at turn 3.
And that rear right is already very damaged before that accident.
Allgaier continuing to hound Austin Hill. They shoot toward turn 5. Hill protecting as they drive right off into the sun before it disappears from them behind the luxury suites in Oval 1. And here's Allgaier. He's going to make the dive here. Out of 6 and into the hairpin, Allgaier makes the big dive, passes Austin Hill. Now Hill with the crossover, gets back to his inside for Oval 1, and Hill is back ahead. So a classic crossover from Hill. Now Allgaier with more momentum built up through Oval 1 and 2 gets right underneath the spoiler of Hill, down the back stretch and into the chicane, but under braking, Hill is able to control his car through the chicane and hold on to the spot. The 4th still belongs to Winston, Georgia's Austin Hill, who was very close to winning the last time we were on a road course in Portland. Here's Allgaier making a charge off the top of Oval 4 into the chicane, makes the dive to the right elbow of Hill. Allgaier, good move there into the front stretch chicane, makes the pass. So Allgaier is up to 4th. Passed Austin Hill twice on that lap, and this time he's finally cleared him.
Is it a good time to mention that Connor Zillage is 5 seconds ahead of everyone else? Right on cue, Connor Zillage, miles off the track because track limits don't exist. America.
Taking him to the woodshed. He has all season. Of course, Corey Heim, yesterday in the Truck Series, won here for his 10th win of the season. If Zillage were to win here today, it would be his 10th Xfinity win of the season. Of course, Heim looked like his race was going to end before it even started on the start of that race, getting caught up in an accident that put damage on the truck, but he rallied all the way back to the front for overtime where he won it. Heim is just having a ridiculous season. He's won 10 of the 22 races in the Truck Series this year. Hard to believe that he would be in that Truck Series again next year. Surely he has to be scooped up by someone in Xfinity or Cup.
You know how we were just mentioning Connor Zillage? 4.8 seconds. Well, it's now 5.4. It's been a lap. And he's done 6/10. And when we cut to him, he was miles off track. Because track limits don't exist. You remember? Oh, there he is again. Once again, right on cue. You remember last time that NASCAR drivers attempted to stay within the white lines on a circuit? The curb started to break.
Yes. Yes, that is something that we have seen happen before, indeed. Well, of course, the last time the Xfinity Series run on the road course was in Portland, and Zillage had that overtime restart where he missed turn 1, and he went through the maze, and everyone thought that he had just done something terrible, but he had done what NASCAR asked him to do when he missed turn 1, and he went on to win. He's just so extremely good. We have 5 laps to go here in this second stage. Connor Mosack and Daniel Hemrick for the 9th position in the backstretch chicane. Hemrick just getting by Mosack to take over that 9th spot. Colleague cars all around Mosack. Hemrick just in front of him. Christian Eckes just behind him. As we click off another lap, we have 31 laps to go in this race. We're just past the halfway point. 36 laps complete, 31 to go. Late start time to this race. It was moved back. It was initially going to be a 4 p.m. start, but then a few weeks back, because of CW's football commitments, they had to move it back to 5 o'clock. It's a very late start time on a racetrack that includes an infield portion that was not previously lighted, but they did put some temporary lighting up in the infield portion of this racetrack for the late start time this weekend. Of course, in 2020, we ran this race in an absolute monsoon, and just about the only light that was being given to the drivers came off the Jumbotron on the back straightaway. That was a wild day. I mean, it rained buckets from start to finish. Oh.
I have unlocked a new type of oval racing.
Have you really now?
Snow. Snow oval racing, thanks to Cole Trickle. Side by side, Sam Mayer is getting involved with Carson Quaffle once again.
Quaffle in oval 3 and 4 with the nose ahead of Mayer. And it looks like Quaffle's going to have that position at 7th. Oh, but Mayer locks up coming into the front stretch chicane. Meanwhile, hitting pit road with 3 to go in the stage is Justin Allgaier. Let's go to pit road and hear this Allgaier pit stop.
Happy with his race car. Hasn't said much on the radio. They'll go around here and change right side tires around to the left side. Routine service for Allgaier. Just try to get this done quickly. Their pit road is very, very busy in the outside lane, so got to make sure they get out cleanly.
Yeah, you see the 54 of Taylor Gray. Lots of issues for him. Forward drive being the biggest one. Also, front turn goes away after about 5 laps. That continued to be his complaint. No front turn for Taylor Gray.
Zillage stays out.
Sanchez on pit road. And of course, when the leader starts the penultimate lap of the stage, pit road closes. So Connor Zilich can still come to pit road at the end of this lap, because it's when the leader starts the penultimate lap. So before he hits the start-finish line, he can pit. But a bunch of drivers flipping the stage by pitting here as Austin Green gets run into by Connor Mostack. Is Mostack's car leaking fuel? Well, very strange to see some kind of fluid coming out the left rear of that car as Connor Zilich does come to pit road. He'll be the only one on pit road this time, JT.
No big complaints from Connor, and that's been the story all race long. Really happy with his race car. Marty Lindley, though, the crew chief, reminding the team we have got to get the car full of fuel. Again, short pitting will be him right near that fuel window for the rest of the race.
So
Zilich pulls away, and Nick Sanchez has been penalized for removing pit equipment, and that is a major, major blow to Nick Sanchez and Big Machine Racing's efforts to advance in the playoffs. Oh boy, that's a huge penalty. Meanwhile, because Zilich and then so many others flipped the stage, it looks as if Jesse Love is going to inherit a stage victory. Pit road is now closed, and with under 2 to go in the stage, Love's lead on Sammy Smith is 3 seconds. Then it's Austin Hill in 3rd, Sheldon Creed 4th, Carson Quaffle 5th, Sam Mayer 6th. So 6 playoff drivers, as long as they can keep it clean for a lap and a half, will get all of those stage points. And Alex LeBay 7th, Josh Balicki 8th, Sage Karam 9th, Connor Zilich has rejoined the racetrack 10th, and on fresh tires, you would think that Zilich will be able to pass a few of those cars like Karam, Balicki, and maybe LeBay, depending on how far up the road LeBay is to Zilich. Meanwhile, here comes Jesse Love. He won the season opener at Daytona. He's cleanly through the front stretch chicane, and as he crosses the start-finish line, he begins the 40th lap of this race, the final lap of stage number 1. Nick Sanchez, what equipment did he remove, JT? It was the jack.
Yeah, not the best, and not what you want to be doing when battling in a playoff elimination race. Here is Jesse Love on his last lap and his last tour of stage 2 here at the Roval.
And it is going to be a big stage victory for Love. He's only won 1 stage this season. And again, coming into this race, he was just inside the cut line, holding the final spot inside the top 8 by just 5 points. So this stage win means the world to this 2 team as he clears the hairpin for the final time now in this second stage. Climbs the banking in Oval 1 and 2. Meanwhile, just to make that Carson Quaffle and Sheldon Creed nose to tail onto Oval 1. That's the battle for 4th. An important point up for grabs for both of those playoff drivers as Quaffle heading towards the backstretch chicane. Is he going to make a dive down the inside of Creed? No, thinks better of it. As Jesse Love through Oval 3 and 4, the 20-year-old driver from California, exits Oval 4, cuts into the infield to make a dive into the front stretch chicane, cleanly negotiates those couple of corners, and with the green and white checkered flag waving, Jesse Love wins stage 2 at Charlotte. Sammy Smith comes home 2nd. He scores 9 points. Austin Hill scores 8 in 3rd. Sheldon Creed is 4th. Carson Quaffle is 5th. Sam Mayer is 6th. Alex LeBay will finish 7th in this stage. The Canadian driver. 8th to Josh Balicki, 9th to Sage Karam, and Connor Zilich did come across in 10th. So Jesse Love flips the stage and wins the stage. 10 big points and an extra playoff point as well for Jesse Love and the 2 teams. But all of those drivers that stayed out to get those stage points will be coming back down pit road here shortly under the caution, and they will be giving up all of that track position.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello.
Are you telling me we're in another stage break?
Yeah, we sure are.
Are you telling me that I have more short oval stuff? Are you telling me that the stage 2 break we normally mention stuff that has happened in sport this weekend?
That is right. That is accurate.
Tonight was the biggest night in British banger racing. Every year, the unlimited National Banger World Final held at Vauxhall Stadium in Ipswich is held. And Matthew, this year was the 51st running of it. And your unofficial World Final results for that was first, 459, Blake Platts, had grid position 38 and won it. Second, 639, Ty Williams, came from 23rd on the grid. Third, 887, Rob Browning, got the qualifying spot in a last chance qualifying, came from the back of the grid to third. Fourth, 209, Tom Waller was your pole sitter. He's fourth. Fifth, 62, Harvey Webb. He came from 26th on the grid. Sixth, 673, Darren Fendley came from fourth on the grid. Seventh, 360, Jackstar. Jack Reynolds. He came all the way from 58th on the grid up to 7th. 8th, 440, Big Mac. Yes, that is his nickname. Came from 48th on the grid, and 9th was 74, Jamie Sangster. He came from 15th on the grid. That is, of course, subject to post-race checks, because they strip the whole down. They strip the whole car down, and if anything is wrong with it, they get banished. You know how I mentioned a little bit earlier, Matthew, about short oval racing in the UK?
Yes.
Do you once again want to see how I plan my year?
Absolutely.
I have had to zoom it out to 50%, and that is still not enough. If I press this button and press that button and press that button, this is the whole year. This is the whole year schedule for Ringwood Raceway, Ringwood Cheetahs Raceway, Mendips, Stanlake, Aldershot, Northampton, Grimley, Tongham, Arlington, Smeethorpe, United Downs, Hendersford and Ipswich, and any other that I fancy putting on there. All of the greens are the ones that I was meant to go to. That's a lot of greens. Do you want to see what my August looked like? You sure want to see what my August looked like? Monday the 4th, Taunton. Wednesday the 6th, Mendips. 9th we didn't do Northampton, so skip that one. Didn't do that one. 11th was Taunton. 13th was Arlington. And then we did that one. So we did 16th and 20th at Mendips. Then we were August Bank Holiday weekend was Taunton on the Saturday, Aldershot on the Sunday, and Mendips on the Monday. Yeah, I wasn't busy at all. Do you want to see the behind the scenes of JB? Yeah, hello. Let me look at chat after that. I have lost the YouTube chat. Hello. Yeah.
Bob just saying that Butterbean Queen has indeed clinched the ARCA Championship today. All he had to do was start their finale in Toledo. And he is the champion. He deserves it. He has been otherworldly in that division this season.
Cold Trickle, yeah, they tore up the curb at Indianapolis in the infield. It was coming apart. Yeah, I saw that. It may or may not have just become a diverter for the cars to go into like a barrier at high speed or anything. That didn't happen. We shall continue after we hear about some pit reporters doing their job.
Kim, what's happening?
Top of your screen, Stage 2 winner Jesse Love, happy with the car. The car better, doesn't have to wait on throttle in turns 1 and 7 anymore. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel. Below him, Sheldon Creed. After that left front damage on the racetrack with Quapple, he said tighten all the right-handers. They will make a chassis adjustment and change tires as well as take fuel, Dylan.
Sammy Smith has scored the second most stage points of anybody today. His car is still tight. He asked for more front turn, 4 tires, fuel, and a chassis adjustment. Austin Hill said he was on the tight side there as well, but closer to freer on that run. So step in the right direction for the 21. They had routine service as well and a good pit stop, it looks like.
Jesse Love, best off pit road. Austin Hill does go +1. Smith loses a spot. +2 for Mayer. Quapple, the 5th guy off the pit line. But keep this in mind. Bunch of drivers stayed out after making their pit stops under green. And the 0-0, Sheldon Creed with a slow stop.
Well, yeah, watch this right here. One of the lug nuts falls off. He has to go back. Oh, he's pulling it out. The fender right there got it pulled out. We saw that little bit of a body rub that they had. Only lost 2 spots, though. Way to get it, guys.
I'm going to tell you what.
Thank you for that amazing analysis there. More behind the scenes. If I hit this button, Matthew.
Yeah.
You know how we do a lot of series on JB Motorsports?
Yeah, I think I got that memo sometime or another.
Maybe some could say a little too much. Every single person says too much. This is how we know what is on every weekend. We have all of the series we cover: F1, F2, F3, F1 Academy, Porsches, FE, IndyCar, Touring Cars, MotoGP, Moto2, Moto3, rest in peace Moto E. BSB is there because we were going to cover it maybe coming next year. Maybe. World Superbikes, WCR, IMSA, WEC, Cup, Xfinity trucks. ARCA's just there because it's nice to see where ARCA is compared to NASCAR. GB3, Italian F4, Euro 4, FECA. This is the whole year, Matthew. Do you want to see what do you want to see what the 2026 one looks like? We are at the beginning of October. This is our plans for 2026 already. Also, please note that Moto E has been removed from this one, and please note that the NASCAR Xfinity Series has now turned green. It does look pretty nice, the yellow, green and red, I will admit that. Do you want to know the truth? We don't. we just don't. Well, at least you don't have to travel far to see all the racing in the UK compared to the USA. I did a 500-mile round trip on last Sunday to
That's crazy. That's real crazy.
To a dirt oval in Scunthorpe, out of all places. And well, if you're in the UK and you know of Scunthorpe, well, Scunthorpe's just a place. There's nothing really there. Okay. Is that from the top of the hospitality buildings?
Just fascinating. Just fascinating, truly.
Yeah, I did a 500-mile round trip, 8 hours of driving to meet Joshua Birch, give him something, make a video about said something, which I still haven't edited, and it's being shown tomorrow. So yeah, tune in to the NASCAR Cup Series stream tomorrow to see what that video is about. And it does include race footage from the event we were at, which I could do a sneak peek of. I don't know where my SD card is, which might indeed be a problem if I want to edit. Oh,
well, indeed.
Okay, we have indeed got the 1 to go signal from the top of the hospitality suite. What is this?
I have a lot of editing to do tonight before tomorrow too, and you just know how much I love editing.
1,000 miles in 24 hours. What is that in the European mind? That is from London to Naples in Italy.
Oh, wow. We've also had a penalty to a playoff driver to report Sam Mayer. When he came down pit road under caution, there were pit crew members over the wall too soon. So Mayer, trying to make it into the round of 8, will be at the very back for this restart as we're going to get the final stage underway with just north of 20 laps to go here at Charlotte. Connor Zilich and Justin Allgaier on the front row. So we get back to how we started this race with those two together at the front. Green flag goes up in the air, and Zilich takes off once again on the restart and jets away to the lead. Allgaier left to battle Christian Eckes for third. Allgaier will get ahead of him quickly in turn 1, but Eck is going to try to cross over and come back at him at 2 on the inside. That turns to outside for 3. But Allgaier's going to hold him off, and in fact, Eckes has gone wide on the approach to turn 4. Connor Mosack tries to slip up the inside and take over the 3rd position. He might just do it as they shoot to 5, and he does. So Connor Mosack moves up into the 3rd position. They're double file further back as they crest that small hill after they come out of 5 and head to 6. JT, let's see what the hairpin gives us this time. First lap after a restart.
Straight up the inside, the 24 getting involved. Kazgrala as well, as we're on board with Taylor Gray. How many as wells can you fit in an as well sentence? Down the back straight we go towards the backstretch chicane and looks up the inside, and well, we've got contact and off the track. I didn't catch the number, but we shall get the number if... There we go, 2 cars off. That's Thompson, and we're 3 wide in the oval of turn 3.
Dean Thompson went wide, missed to the chicane, and yes, we are 3 wide in oval 3 and 4. Love, Quaffle, and DiBenedetto, 3 of them across the track. Sheldon Creed is just behind all of this. DiBenedetto drives deep on the inside of the front stretch chicane. Gets ahead of cars 1 and 2, Quaffle and Love. Now Sheldon Creed around the outside of Love. Overtakes the 2 car. Love, of course, the stage winner, pitted under caution once the stage ended. That's why he's so far back here in the running order. A moment ago, Dean Thompson, we mentioned, I don't even know if he contacted anyone. He just lost the car under braking and had to skip the chicane.
Well,
Anthony
we 4
Alfredo
wide.
was in there. Sammy Smith was there. My goodness, what a mess.
That was very nearly 4 wide into the backstretch chicane. And I know you can't see TV pictures because we'd get banished by society and the copyright gods as we're 3 wide once again exiting the hairpin. But just picture the Charlotte Roval backstretch chicane with cars 4 wide going into it. That's what happened. 3 wide down the backstretch, and it looks like it could happen again.
Creed, Jones, Quaffle, 3 wide, heading to the back chicane. Creed stabs the accelerator to get by both Quaffle and Brandon Jones. Jesse Love gets involved in it, and he and Quaffle hip check one another coming out of the chicane and going back to oval 3 and 4. What a mess that is. Alex LeBay's in the middle of it. I'll get it sorted out for now. Further up in the front chicane, Austin Hill wedges his way to the right elbow of William Sawalich. They come across the line nose to nose. Back towards turn 1 they go, and Sawalich is going to hold off Hill for now. Where is that on the racetrack? That is at about 10th as Hill crosses over in turn 2, gets alongside Sawalich and shoots through. So Hill on the crossover gets right back past William Sawalich for the 10th position. All of this happening just behind Taylor Gray, and it's happening 9 seconds behind the race leader, Connor Zilic, who is once again shot out of a cannon on the restart. He's 1.7 seconds clear of Justin Allgaier. Corey Day's car beaten, battered, and bruised, but still in the mix here, JT. And here he comes with a lunge in the hairpin at William Sawalich. How about Corey Day?
What is happening? As we go single file now through oval turn 2 onto the backstretch we go now, side by side. Sammy Smith tries to get up the inside of Swallage, who tries to get up the inside of Day, isn't able to. Now Day, they've tried to do some repair work with a lot of speed tape used as well. We now teleport to Connor Zilic, who is already 2 seconds in front of anyone else. We've been green for 3 laps.
Yeah, he was 1.7 seconds ahead at the end of the last lap. This lap he's 2.6, so he basically gained another second.
Okay, never
on all
mind.
Time. This has been what Zilic has done
Can
all
I go to bed
race
now?
long. Looking for his 10th win of the season is Connor Zilic. It is absolute madness behind him, though. Has Gralla jumping up into the top 10, up in 8th, and Austin Green off the restart is settled in 5th. Told you at the start Austin could be a factor for a good finish today, and indeed he's running in 5th spot here with 20 laps to go here in Charlotte, and a bunch of playoff drivers that scored stage points last stage, then pitted under caution and gave up track position, trying to work their way through traffic. Is in the hairpin. Sammy Smith turns Corey Day around. Day spins in the middle of traffic. Sheldon Creed avoids him to the left. Jesse Love goes to his right. And now Day stuck until traffic gets around him for him to right that car. He finally will, and Corey's recovery all for naught after getting turned around in the hairpin. Meanwhile, in the back chicane, William Sawalich airborne over the curbs. He was forced onto that curbing by Carson Quaffle.
Bob just said, Day looks like he's been in a demolition derby. Well, that was a demolition derby move we just witnessed down at the hairpin. Here's a replay of it.
Sammy Smith trying to make a dive on William Sawalich. Sawalich through the block, put Smith even at a worse angle going to the hairpin, and he just made a straight line into the back of Corey Day.
Never mind, that wasn't demolition derby standard. That was just nudge and spin.
I mean, wow, Smith was never going to make that corner without making contact with somebody or something. Oh. Gosh. Good avoidance by a lot of guys like Creed and Love and Jones and LeBay. The Day, who had recovered up into the top dozen, goes all the way back to the rear of the field. Meanwhile, coming out of the hairpin, Austin Hill at 9th, trying to take 8th away from Kaz Gralla, coming back up onto the oval. Taylor Gray just in behind those two. In the live standings, JT, Gray holds the final spot into the round of 8 on Austin Hill by 4 points. So Hill needs to make this pass on Gralla and then hope he can go up and gain more positions while Gray gets bottled up in traffic. And Gray does have traffic lining up at the back door in the form of Sammy Smith, Sheldon Creed, and Carson Quaffle. Hill has made that pass on Gralla. So that'll put Hill within 3 points of Gray for the final spot into the next round.
And side by side.
Creed forces his way to the inside of Smith. And Creed's going to make that pass. Holy cow. What in the world?
What in the wide world of sport is this?
Hey, there you go. Good line. I don't know who you stole that line from, but that's a good line.
Some mayor or someone. Yes. Or something.
Meanwhile, for those that care, in college football world, we are about to have a massive, and I do mean massive, upset. UCLA is about to beat Penn State. Another pitiful, pathetic Penn State performance. under James Franklin, and the Nittany Lions are going to lose to one of the worst teams in the country, UCLA. Wow. Unbelievable.
And to Europeans, college football is different to soccer, right? Yeah.
Yes, indeed. That would be college American football, but that's just too many words and syllables to try to say. Don't you know? Taylor Gray has still not been able to get around Kaz Gralla after Hill did get around Gralla. And Hill is starting to set his sights on cars in front of him like Eric Almirola and Jeb Burton. Austin Hill needs to make up places here over these last 17 laps to make his way into the round of 8. The drama of an elimination race. Austin Hill with 17 laps to make up 4 positions to eliminate Taylor Gray and get himself into the round of 8. Hill in the hairpin is about 3 seconds behind the next car that he could pass for position, which is Eric Almirola. Meanwhile, Zilich at the front of the field, 4 seconds ahead of Allgaier, then Mosak, Eckes, and Austin Green. That's the top 5. How about Austin Green in 5th? Jeb Burton in 6th. Oh, and Gray could be losing a position in the backstretch chicane, and he does. Sheldon Creed gets around Taylor Gray. Now Gray has to fend off Sammy Smith. That's a point lost for Gray, and that's a point for Austin Hill. And those two battling for the final playoff spot. So, JT, this is going to get, well, it could get really chaotic down the stretch here as we watch Gray trying to defend positions and Hill trying to attack for more.
Yeah, here comes Sammy Smith looking on the rear bumper cam. It's now riding on board through turns 1 and now turn 2 in towards 3 and the main infield part of the circuit. +2 for Gray, -2 for Hill, as you mentioned. Smith -10, Sanchez -22, and of course Burton already eliminated at -43. If you were with us earlier on in the stream where we did the Marco Doom for the first time since Le Mans 24 hours. You can tell it's been a chaotic broadcast when we bring stuff from Le Mans into a NASCAR broadcast.
Yeah. By the way, Austin Hill has not totally stepped away from Kaz Gralla. Gralla's still just behind him. And if Hill were to lose that position to Gralla, that would be a point lost. And here comes Gralla out of Oval 2 and into the chicane. Kaz Gralla repasses Austin Hill. Wow. Well. So Hill now is -3 to Gray again.
That was a brilliant in-focus camera. Well done, CW. Now down in towards the front stretch chicane across the line once down. Looking at that Austin Hill 21 car. In towards turn 1.
Hill had all of his playoff points taken away from him when he got suspended for that Iowa race. And oh my goodness, is that comment from Bob says that Austin Hill may be losing a cylinder underneath that car. Oh my goodness. Oh. That would explain why Gralla ran him down.
That did come across Hill's radio.
That would, and Hill's going to try to repass Gralla in the hairpin. I mean, nothing Austin can do about it. He's just got to saddle the horse and crack the whip and either drive it as hard as he can to make up spots or run it until it blows up. But boy, he is drifting up the track coming out of Oval 2, and he could not pass Gralla, and now Creed might pass him, and he does. Sheldon Creed passes Austin Hill for position. That's 9th. And Hill may be seeing advancing in these playoffs slipping away from him because of a mechanical failure. Taylor Gray now moves up right behind Hill, and that 21 car is definitely off the pace. And 14 laps is far too much around this track to be able to nurse it home without losing many positions.
Matthew.
Hill back in 10th, 21 seconds off the lead, yes.
Where is Jesse Love in the playoff standings? I don't have it open at the moment, which is probably silly of me.
Jesse Love in the live standings is 6th, plus 9. Then it's Carson Quaffle plus 7, Taylor Gray plus 4, Austin Hill minus 4, Sammy Smith minus 10.
Because at the moment, oh, never mind. NASCAR had some concern for the 2 car, but they've just confirmed it as all clear.
Okay. Meanwhile, Sheldon Creed at plus 11, trying to get another point here in the hairpin as he makes a dive to the inside of Gralla in that pink 24. Creed looks like he's going to make this pass clean, and then further back, Sammy Smith makes the pass on Taylor Gray. So that'll move Gray to only plus 3, and it will move Smith to minus 9. So a lot of shuffling and shaking out still to figure out. Smith now to the outside of Hill going into the back chicane. Taylor Gray just in the back of this as Hill continues to struggle. And as he gets onto Oval 3, Sammy Smith just pulls to his outside. And Hill lacking pace with perhaps a mechanical failure going on in that 21 car. Smith on the way to the front stretch chicane. He'll pass Hill. Taylor Gray lines up at the back door. Carson Quaffle is there. Hill's going to lose all of these positions eventually. Gray goes around him at the start-finish line. Quaffle's going to dive down to his inside. Jesse Love may do the same. They're 3 wide in turn 1. Hill and Love, RCR teammates, with Carson Quaffle right around him. And Hill is fighting, but all of this is going to be for naught, JT. He just doesn't have the power, especially in the high-speed portions of the track onto the oval. Quaffle and Love have to stay behind him for now as they exit turn 4.
Yep, and I can tell you that William Swallows has come down at pit road, but here comes Quaffle, right on the back of the 21 car as we head down in towards the hairpin.
Hill trying to fend off Quaffle. Quaffle's not going to make that big of a dive into the hairpin because he knows he's just going to have so much more speed than the 21 when they get onto the oval and onto the banking, which they are now. And yeah, Quaffle right down the inside is going to blow past Hill. So too will Hill's teammate Jesse Love. So Hill loses 2 more places, might even lose another, as Daniel Hemrick tried to dive it down the inside of the back chicane, thinks better of it. So Austin Hill can just about take that marker of doom and cross his name off. Maybe he can't do it right now, because anything could happen, but this just isn't going to work out for him. He's just lacking so much speed, as now Hemrick does get around him in the front chicane. So Austin Hill's done. And many fans, JT, will rejoice in that.
Yeah, and, well, just continues to drop down the order. Sam Mayer, I believe, is behind him now, as we head through turn 3 and turn 4. And here comes Sam Mayer, straight up the inside of the 21 car.
So really, we're not, we don't need to worry about Austin Hill's point position anymore. Now we need to focus on Taylor Gray and Sammy Smith, because Smith has now moved past Hill in the live standings, and now Gray has the last spot by 8 points. Smith is below him, below the cut line by 8 points. So that now needs to become our focus, and hopefully the CW's focus. Sammy Smith is in 10th. So there's not many more cars that he can pass for position and points, really, running in the 10th position. He can pass a couple of cars like Gralla and Creed and maybe even Jeb Burton, but really he needs Taylor Gray to lose positions more than anything. Gray running right behind Smith on the racetrack in 11th. So all of this has really worked out for Taylor Gray. By the way, for those for inquiring minds, UCLA has pulled the upset. They did give up a late safety to try to run out some clock, but UCLA has pulled off a massive, massive upset by beating Penn State 42-37 in the world of college football. And Texas may be about to lose to Florida. Florida is up 29-21 with 2 minutes to go. Gators do have the ball. Nick Sanchez is on pit road, JT. A flat right front tire, and this, you can take the marker to Nick Sanchez's name as well.
Yep, as
He's
down
done.
in towards pit road. Also, we've got Dean Thompson, who has gone behind the wall.
Shame for Dean, who we really didn't hear of much today. He's had a really good season. At the front for the win, Connor Zilich is 5 seconds clear of Justin Allgaier. No fight there with 11 laps to go. Then it's Mosak, Eckerton, Green. Oh.
At this point, we just gotta hope get some help here at the end. We'll see if we get some restarts.
Yeah, that was Austin Hill radio, and that's really the only thing that they could hope for is that they get a late caution and then get chaos on some restarts that take guys like Gray and Smith out. And that's the only way Austin Hill is going to gain positions and points to overtake those guys. So, 10 laps to go. And with that radio communication being made, JT, if a caution were to come out because of Austin Hill slamming someone into a barrier.
Of course, you had to say it.
Yeah, just get ready for absolute carnage and, yeah, all of it.
You didn't have to say it, but you just did. I hope you feel proud of yourself, Matthew. Got a Zilich, by the way. 6.1 seconds with 10 laps to go. Up the inside, Carson Quaffle trying to get up the inside of the 54 out of the hairpin, and now we go onto the banking towards the backstretch chicane.
Of course, Quaffle could really help his teammate Sammy Smith out if he makes this pass on Gray. That would bring Smith 1 point closer to Gray in the live standings as they go under braking to the backstretch chicane. Quaffle is going to make that pass on Gray, and that will now mean that for the final advancing spot, Gray now has it over Smith by 7 points. 9 laps to go.
Happy Sunday, by the way, for the UK and anyone that is forward of time in the UK. Through the front stretch chicane we go. Austin Hill now under pressure from Jones, the 21, and the 20.
Now, Hill has just plummeted as he has dropped anchor with that cylinder that's gone away. He's now minus 12 in the live standings. Mayer plus 36 is comfortable. And the way it's turning out, Creed at plus 16, Love at plus 14, and Quaffle at plus 13 are also going to be quite comfortable if it stays this way. Now, if we get a late caution and crazy restarts, anything can happen. But if it stays green, all those guys are comfortable, and it's going to come down to Gray versus Smith. And right now, Gray, by 7 points, has the cushion on Sammy Smith for now. Austin Hill down a cylinder is minus 12. He's going to be eliminated. Nick Sanchez minus 31. He's going to be eliminated after he just came to pit road with a flat tire. And Harrison Burton, who's many laps down after a fuel pressure issue earlier in the day, he's going to be eliminated as well.
On board with Justin Allgaier, currently in second, Matthew.
It'll be the first cut from the Xfinity Series playoffs. And the round of 8 will get started next Saturday night in Las Vegas. And I suppose, JT, for the people that don't like the playoffs and the people that defend the playoffs, I suppose this race is what the people that do defend the playoffs would point towards, because if we didn't have the drama of watching the points to see who was going to advance and who was going to be knocked out, this race would be rather boring, because Connor Zilich has just taken off and, I mean, taken everyone to the woodshed here this evening.
Should we be glad that this is a playoff elimination race? Because if it wasn't, it would be an absolute snooze fest. Here's the 87 car.
Austin Green.
That is not Justin Allgaier.
No.
What has happened to the front right of that car?
Austin's had a great run. 4th position. In fact, over the last couple of laps, he's just passed Christian Eckes to take that spot. Meanwhile, Taylor Gray, he just lose another spot? I think he did. Yep, Jesse Love got around him. And now Gray just +6 to Sammy Smith. He cannot afford to lose.
Oh, we do have radio. CW said we had radio. They didn't play radio. They played one sentence. Thank you, W. Back out on track. Here's Jesse Love.
Hopefully you can hear me, everybody.
Yes, hello Matthew, welcome back.
Okay, very good. A dog just pulled a cord. Now, with 7 laps to go, Jesse Love, as I just mentioned, just got around Taylor Gray, and Sam Mayer is not too far behind Gray either. Gray be losing another spot, perhaps. He has a cushion, but it's getting smaller, that cushion. It's now 6 points for Taylor. They're down to 6 laps to go. Gray bouncing over the curbs on the back chicane. With Mayer trying to run him down. Now, here's a curious thing to see, JT. Connor Mosack from 3rd position comes to pit road. I wonder if they didn't have enough fuel to make it to the finish.
Got a fuel pressure issue of some sort, so unscheduled, as you said, and a bummer ending to this day. It was a really, really solid all-around performance from Mosack in the 19.
That is a shame, because it was a really good performance by this young driver, getting an opportunity with the premier team in the Xfinity Series, JRM. He has made some Xfinity Series starts in the past, most recently at Sonoma of this year, but not with a team of this level. That's a shame for Connor. That will move Austin Green, however, up into the 3rd position. What an amazing result this would be for him. Now, Sammy Smith, we keep talking about him holding that last spot above the cut line by just 6 points on Taylor Gray. What he can definitely do without is a teammate taking a position away from him. But Carson Quaffle has closed up to Sammy Smith here in the hairpin, tried to make a dive, thought better of it, but as they race to the backstretch chicane, Quaffle is putting pressure on Sammy Smith. Will there be team orders here in the JRM stables and to tell Carson to not pass Smith? Carson's comfortable at +13. It's Sammy that needs all the help.
Yeah, and with 5 laps to go, not that much time left as we head in towards the front stretch chicane. Quaffle giving him a little bit of a nudge as Sheldon Creed gets moved up to 6th as we watch Connor Mosack drop down the order.
Situations where they got buried too deep in traffic, and now they've sort of run out of time, but they've also sort of run out of cars to pass. So as he sits here in the 9th spot right now, 6 out, it's going to take a lot of guys falling out in front of them for them to be in a position to capitalize on all that. And a tough way to end this. They put together a really good day. Sammy did a lot of prep for this one. He said, my road course stuff this year has taken a huge step forward. I feel really confident about it. But barring a miracle, it may be the end of the road for the 8 car today, Kim.
Well, Dylan, headed into this weekend, I don't know that the 54 team of Taylor Gray thought that this is what they were going to have in mind when they thought about their program here at the Roval. It just was a day that did not start off good. Really unload great, didn't qualify great. He has battled an ill-handling race car all race long. In fact, he told me before the race, we are just slow. And it's not just the car, it's the driver too. JC Radcliffe, though, the veteran crew chief, made a great strategy call before the end of stage 2 to flip the stage, get track position, put them in a spot to be plus to the cut line. Right now, though, Gray is trying to hang on, currently running +6 to with 4 laps to go. The team giving him a points update about every lap or so.
Well, he's looking good right now. Oh, and Sammy Smith is going to come to pit road. Well, now Taylor's looking even that much more better because his closest pursuer to knocking him out comes to pit road with just 4 laps to go. JT, what's going on here?
Maybe by design. Look, you're not going to just drive through the field here with 4 laps to go, but if we get a yellow here and you've already pitted, tires matter. So they're going to come down here, nothing to lose. They'll put tires on here. We talked about needing a miracle. Sometimes.
Oh, and there's the yellow! Oh, my goodness! A caution has come out! And can you believe the timing for Sammy Smith? Sage Karam's car stopped on the front stretch. Oh my goodness, JT. An enormous stroke of luck for Sammy Smith. They could not have drawn it up any better than that. Are you kidding me?
We have to watch this 8 car on the restart, my word. But this is going to be a grandstand finish here at the Charlotte Roval.
I do not believe it. Just as you heard Dylan Welch talking about how that was the only play they had no more positions that they could realistically drive up and gain. So they wanted to come to pit road just in case there was a caution to get fresh tires. And I mean, while he's on pit road, the caution comes out. I cannot believe it. We'll see how timing and scoring sorts the field. We'll also see how many others come to pit road. Remember, all of these guys have 20-plus laps, 20-plus green flag laps on their tires. So they may all come to pit road, and Smith might restart as the leader. But for crew chief Philip Bell, that is a bit of amazing serendipity. Oh my gosh. Incredible. And now what's going to happen under this caution once they open up pit road? Who's going to stop? Who's going to not? And where will Sammy Smith be? Actually, multiple questions. Where will Sammy Smith be in the running order? And where will he be in the standings in relation to Taylor Gray? Gray is currently scored 11th. Smith is 23rd. As Sage Karam brings his car to pit road. Oh, he lost the entire carcass of the right front tire on the track, and that's why the caution came out. We are now past 7 o'clock Eastern time here, local time. Getting pretty dark. I know they put in temporary lighting in the infield, but it is starting to get dark for these drivers. That is just unbelievable what we just watched with Sammy Smith, but job is not done yet. Now in the live standings, he is minus 21 to Taylor Gray. Again, we'll wait to see how many cars come down pit road under the caution. That will help determine where Sammy will line up in the order. And then on fresh tires, what can he do to try to make up 21 points in what will be just a 2-lap overtime dash to try to eliminate Taylor Gray? For what it's worth, Austin Hill in the live standings is minus 11. If we get a whole bunch of chaos and you get Gray get taken out in a crash on a restart along with Smith, Hill could still advance, even though he's down a cylinder. See if pit road will be open this time. If it is, who pits, who doesn't?
Green light on top of the pace car. Here we go.
I mean, like I said, more than 20 green flag laps on the tires of all these guys, so you know they really would like fresh tires. Oh, Zilich stays out, and just about everyone behind him comes in, including Allgaier. Oh, my goodness. This is going to shake it all up, JT. Let's go to pit road.
He said the only way we're going to win this race is if we stay out. Creed, though, the 00, they were going to do what the 7 does. So Justin Allgaier came down, Creed came down. They think fresh tires is going to help them here with the overtime, Dylan.
And Allgaier's been pretty happy with his balance. He'll change 4 tires and fuel here. You saw the chassis adjustment. Have to imagine that just to help them on the short run here with this restart coming in overtime. So Allgaier will get out here and try to take advantage of those new tires.
Well, to state the very obvious, JT, this is going to be absolute madness.
That's an understatement, Matthew Owens. Matthew?
Meanwhile, Austin Hill did just pit, and he's still on pit road with the hood up, just to make that point. Yes, JT?
Do you want a sneak behind-the-scenes preview of... No, I'm not going to mess with stuff with overtime because we are professional here. Taylor Gray come out 4th in line, Matthew. And, well, Kaz Grala side by side with him.
Yeah, Taylor did not pit, so he moves up a bunch of places, but Sammy will move up a bunch of places too because he wouldn't have had to have stopped. So he stayed out while all those other guys just came in. This is going to be, it's going to be lunacy on the restart.
There's the sunset you were talking about, Matthew. And here we go for the choose.
Given one to go, so here's the choose. By the way, Austin Green gets to restart on the front row alongside Zilich. So Green has a chance to go out and maybe win this race. Of course, you would have to overtake Connor Zilich, which absolutely no one has even come close to doing today. So, live standings here coming to overtime. Mayer is plus 30, Gray plus 13, Love plus 8, Creed plus 6. And now there is a tie for the final spot between Sammy Smith and Carson Quaffle. So all the shuffling of positions on pit road has changed everything. My goodness.
What could go wrong?
And if it remains a tie between Smith and Quaffle, the tiebreaker is currently held by Smith. The tiebreaker is best finish in the round, but the problem is that's tied too, because Quaffle was 4th at Bristol and Smith was 4th at Kansas. So then it would be the second best finish in the round, which is currently being determined right now as Sammy Smith runs 8th. Oh my gosh. What is going to happen on the most important restart of the NASCAR Xfinity Series season to this point? Elimination race at the Charlotte Roval with the sun setting, with the lights on. Young Austin Green trying to pull off a major upset and take Connor Zilich for the win. And who's going to advance in the playoffs? Green flag goes up in the air. Zilich spun the rear tires just a bit. He still has a nose ahead of Green. Sage Karam from row 2 wants to make it 3 wide. He can't do it. Or can he? No, he can't. Zilich is clear to the lead in 1, ahead of Green. Followed by Grala, followed by LeBay. Jeb Burton is there. Sammy Smith is the first one to break out of the pack on fresh tires. And contact in turn 4, Mosak running into LeBay. They're 3 wide further back. Sam Mayer gets shoved out onto the grass. Justin Allgaier through traffic. He's to the outside of Taylor Gray at turn 5. Brandon Jones gets pinballed by a couple of cars. And now this hairpin, JT, is going to be absolute chaos.
We go 3 wide into the hairpin. Little bit of contact. And there goes the 07 round.
Oh, and Brennan Poole runs right into him. Head-on collision. Poole into LeBay. And I don't know if any of those cars are going to be able to get back going. We might have a caution. They're 3 wide in Oval 2. As Christian Eckes is between Taylor Gray and Sheldon Creed. They have not called the caution yet. Hard over the curbs goes Eckes in the back chicane. He runs into Creed. Taylor Gray tries to go around him. Jesse Love is there. They still have not thrown the caution for the crash in the hairpin. We're still green, and if Connor Zilic can get to the white flag, the race would be official. And he has. The white flag is out. We're on the last lap. Next flag ends the race. Who is going to advance to the round of 8? One chaotic lap remains to find it all out. Nick Sanchez is up to 9th. He's -9 in the live standings. Sammy Smith runs 3rd. He's +1 to Taylor Gray. So Taylor Gray is on the outside by 1 point, JT. He's right behind Jesse Love coming out of turn 4. Gray's going to pass that car before this lap is over. Oh, but he can't because the caution has come out. Or has it? Yes, the caution is out. The race is over. The race comes to an end as the caution comes out on the last lap. Connor Zilic will get the win. Sammy Smith will get the last spot in the round of 8. And Taylor Gray is going to be eliminated by 1 singular point. Unbelievable. Now, we were not given a reason for the caution because those 2 cars that were crashed in the hairpin had both gotten away. Brennan Poole and Alex LeBay. So we do not know the reason for the caution, actually.
The reason for caution was oil on the track.
Okay. All right, so Connor Zilic comes through the front stretch chicane. The yellow and checkered flags are waving. A dominating performance from Connor Zilic. He scores a perfect 10 with his 10th win of the season. Austin Green with a career day finishes 2nd, and Sammy Smith finishes 3rd. And that will send him on into the round of 8 of the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs. And by 1 point, he eliminates Taylor Gray. The call by crew chief Philip Bell to bring Smith down pit road with 4 laps to go as a Hail Mary. Well, Hail Mary ends up getting answered. Now we will wait to confirm all of this because now the live standings has changed again, JT, in saying that Sammy Smith and Taylor Gray ended in a tie. But that would still mean Smith would advance because the tiebreaker, as I mentioned, is best finish in the round, and Smith would secure that tiebreaker with a 3rd place finish tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. As well, we are focusing on that 8 of Sammy Smith. Of course.
Of course, we have to make sure that all these positions are where they actually finished. When the caution came out, the field was frozen. So any running order that we have is currently unofficial. But as it stands now, we are being told that Mayer, Love, Creed, Quaffle, and Smith advance. Gray, Sanchez, Hill, and Burton are gone. And really, I guess the only way that would change, JT, because we know Sammy Smith was 3rd at the time of caution. He was ahead of all of the craziness. The only way that would change is if they go to the instant replay cameras and determine that Taylor Gray was ahead by a position than what they have him scored as now. That would be the only way that would change.
Yeah. Burnouts on the start line right now for Connor Zilic in the WeatherTech car.
Yeah, for Connor Zilic, this was a crazy race for everyone except for Connor Zilic. He was ahead of all of the stupidity all race long. And he was not passed for the lead in this race a single time. The only laps he did not lead were the laps when he came to pit road to flip stage 2. He ends up leading 61 laps. The rest of the field combined to lead 7. Jesse Love led 4, 1 each for Connor Mosack, Nick Sanchez, and Austin Hill. Connor Zilic led 61. Sammy Smith has climbed out of his car. He'll want to make sure, he will just want to make absolutely sure from NASCAR that it is official that he's advanced before he starts to celebrate. Connor Zilich, those celebrations already on. You know the story on social media about how they've had to move a sponsor decal because he's had too many winner stickers been placed on the car. Well, this is number 10 for Connor. Just another surgical, diabolical performance from, as some people call him, the young wizard. And of course, ever since the the near disaster at Watkins Glen, he climbs out of the roof hatch and salutes the crowd. He's from Charlotte. Now Connor Zilich has won at Charlotte on the Roval. He'll slide down the windshield and hood of the car. He'll go up and collect the flag.
Matthew, breaking news and some very interesting facts. From Break Card Block, reposted by Jeff Gluck, Austin Hill got eliminated by 21 points, Matthew.
Oh boy.
His suspension for intentionally wrecking Aric Almirola stripped him of 21 points.
Oh my gosh. Poetic justice, some would say.
Sammy Smith has been confirmed as advancing from Bob Pockrass.
And there you go. That's what we were waiting on.
Let's go trackside.
Season, but let's talk about that late race restart. Crew Chief Marty Lindley said the only way you were winning that race is to stay out. How did you keep the guys on newer tires away?
Enough people stayed out with me to give me a gap. So, man, thank you all for coming out, first of all. So much fun getting to race in my hometown. JBMotorsports cars were so fast this weekend, and yeah, my WeatherTech Chevrolet was as fast as Xfinity Mobile all day long. First in practice, qualified on the pole, led a lot of laps, and came home with the win. So, feels really good to get 10. Double digits is pretty awesome for my first year in this series. So now we just got to go win a championship.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Connor Zilich is a winner here at the Charlotte Roval.
He mentioned being able.
So Zilich celebrates his 10th win of the year. And the CW has got a quad box up focusing on Zilich, Quaffle, Smith, and Gray. But as you just heard JT say, it has been confirmed that Sammy Smith has advanced and gotten the last spot. That will also see Quaffle through, and it will eliminate Gray. Are we going to hear from one of those drivers now? Is the question.
I hear Adam Alexander still.
Well, how about we listen to him here, because he might know more than us.
NASCAR goes through their review process. Feel real comfortable, you know, about Sam Mayer at plus 25. You know, Love and Creed. I mean, I think everything's good there, even Quapple. But I'm so hesitant to make any confirmations until we get word from NASCAR. When a caution comes out like that, in an overtime situation, you got cars scattered everywhere, and you want to allow NASCAR to go through their process, review the tape, and make sure we know exactly where things stand. We had given you there late the tiebreaker situation between Sammy Smith and Carson Quapple. We now do it for Sammy and Taylor Gray, and this is an easy one. It would go to Sammy Smith because it's best finish in the round, and coming into the day he had it, and then that third place today would help deliver that for Sammy Smith. And look at the comeback. I mean, he was 37th at Bristol, 4th at Kansas, 3rd this afternoon. Just a great effort by Sammy. 24 points below the cut line after the engine failure in Bristol, Tennessee for driver 8.
Well, for the bad luck that he had at Bristol with the engine failure, all of that flipped today with having the tire issue. You could say bad luck from the lockups, but then they get on pit road. The caution falls within seconds of them getting on pit road. He's able to cycle to the front. I mean, as fortunate as Sammy was, obviously the frustration you see on the right-hand side of your screen for Taylor, who did not have a good car today, Parker, but he did a really good job managing the race and staying out of trouble and was going to be in a good position here.
They did everything they could on that 54 in terms of putting him in the right position.
track position-wise, and obviously everything unfolded with the caution was unfortunate for them. But I also go back to Kansas for Sammy Smith and how that team responded to the devastation of what happened at Bristol and had put on an epic performance there, backed it up here today. I think this is, a very powerful moment for that 8 team and Sammy Smith, considering the performances that they put these last 2 races.
I look at these 2 drivers in this situation, and I rewind a number of months back to Martinsville in the spring.
Yeah.
And they were the storyline there for different reasons. When Taylor Gray appeared to be maybe on his way to the victory, right? And then Sammy Smith had the contact, and we know the confrontation that followed. And now today they both sit and wait to see what their fate is in regard to the playoffs and trying to advance out of the round of 12.
Well, Taylor Gray would like to have those 5 points right now from Martinsville.
Just one of them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
A great effort by both these teams.
I can only imagine what the anxiety is like for those 2, because for us up here, like, what is it? Like, it's palpable right now.
Well, as we sit here now, they're tied. And we know and we have shown you the tiebreaker goes to Sammy Smith. What's in question here and what NASCAR is looking at is the finish for Taylor Gray,
which is now officially in a NASCAR review.
But if NASCAR goes back and looks at this and says, I'm a caution, he was actually 11th, that means he gets 1 more point, and there's no longer a tie, and it's Gray that advances. Every position is a point, and we sell this, right? And I know at times fans are like, they're so dramatic. This is why it matters. And when you think of the history of the Xfinity Series in the playoffs and the margins advancing from the round of 12 to the round of 8, more often than not, the difference in that 8th and 9th position is less than 5 points. Today, it might be dead even, and we decide it on a tiebreaker.
Well, anytime. It'd be great. I'll tell you right now. If you're Taylor Gray, you're just hoping this falls your way somehow. Yeah, like,
and
you're recounting everything you did. Where were you on track? Sammy knows where he finished, right?
Yeah.
There's no doubt here. I feel like Taylor, I mean, you're just reading body language, like just looks dejected. Maybe there's just hope. You mentioned that's not a great plan.
It's just amazing how everything flipped there late in this race. Saw a slight celebration there.
I thought he knew something
I was like,
we didn't.
Maybe we've got word, and I don't believe we do.
No.
No, I just go back to the situation for Sammy Smith and all they had done to put themselves in position and the flip of track position, and now you're on the outside looking in. Tire goes down, you make the pit stop, and we were unsure that the tire was going down. We just thought it was a gutsy call because this was their only path to be able to make it work and then pray for a caution. And just as he comes down and gets the service, we get the caution. And all of that is what made this possible for Sammy Smith, Phillip Bell, and everybody with that 18.
They hit the lottery in that one.
Here's the other thought on this. If it stays this way and it is Sammy Smith that advances, Junior Motorsports, all 4 of their cars into the round of 8, which is just remarkable.
Yeah, based on the way they've run this year, not surprised at all. I mean, they have been so good at every type of a racetrack that we've been to.
Well, Zilich's win today, that's number 17 for JRM. They've done it with 6 different drivers. I would say 6.5 because, Parker, we know how instrumental you were in helping. And I say that only how we rule it officially that Zilich was ruled the winner. But 17 wins. They go to 7-0 on the road courses this year as Junior Motorsports. And now we look and...
Go, Matthew.
Well, so that's the still shot of when the caution was out, and Taylor Gray was actually nowhere close to anybody. So I don't know what's taking so long, actually. That should be pretty cut and dry.
This is NASCAR, Matthew. NASCAR like to take their time on stuff. Yes, well done, Adam Alexandra. The caution light is indeed on there.
Yeah, that's now that we got that still shot, like I said, I don't really know what's taking so long because Gray is not, he's not side by side with anybody, so it should be pretty clear where he finished. So I'm a bit confused.
On CW. Maybe they're looking at Carson Quaffle because he was side by side.
Well, maybe that because Quaffle is being scored +2. So if he gets demoted 2 positions and he's into it, then it becomes a 3-way tie. I guess the other question would be, is after the caution come out, was there anybody ahead of Gray that did not make it to the checkered flag under power? Like, did someone run out of gas or something, stop on the track? Maybe the issue is what we're seeing on replay here is after the caution came out, Gray passed Jesse Love, but then had to give that spot back.
NASCAR has taken a spot away from Gray and given the P12 spot to Love on the scoring monitor. And I have it on my screen here. Smith in,
so
Gray
that was
out.
the issue then. So that was the issue then, because he had made that pass under caution and then had to give that spot back. So is that the issue? Is that they had him scored ahead of Love, but now they've had to give that spot back?
So it is confirmed as Sammy Smith +1, Gray -1.
So there it is. So now we have confirmed it, and Sammy Smith has advanced, and let's hear from him.
It was a hard-fought day for sure. We brought speed. I'm very proud of our effort that we put in this week to be able to put ourselves in this position. We knew it was going to take a lot. So I'm very proud of everyone at JRM, everyone on my team. Philip made a great call. The pit, obviously, it was a Hail Mary move, and it worked. So just thank you to Pilot, TMC, All-State Peterbilt Group, Chevrolet, JRM, everyone that helped out. Obviously, I appreciate most of that. Kind of let me in there on that Turn 1 deal just so I could, make something happen. And I was able to do that, and I'm relieved. I'm just excited to go try to race for another championship here and put ourselves in a position we can make the Final Four.
All right, a great comeback by the 80 is officially advancing, Dylan.
And of course, the flip side of that coin is Taylor Gray, who is eliminated. You do everything you can kind of on a roller coaster day, and then you got to sit and wait for it. What emotions are going through your head right now?
Yeah, just obviously bummed out, right? Don't be able to go race for a championship at the end of the year. So just weren't good enough. We weren't good enough today. We didn't have a good Bristol. And, we shouldn't even have to be in this spot, but we are, and we're going to take our loss and move on to the next 4 and try to go win us a couple races.
Thanks, Taylor.
Well, you can hear the disappointment in his voice, and I mean he was looking good, for all the world, and then the late caution comes out, and then everything gets thrown into a blender.
Okay, Matthew.
But yes.
15 minutes it was between the time of caution to the final decision. 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I know there's going to be people frustrated about that, but I mean, obviously, NASCAR wanted to look at everything they possibly could to make sure they had it right. I mean, while all this has gone on, Zilich and his team has already gone through all of the... He's done his front stretch interview, and he's gotten out of the car in victory lane, and yeah.
Stuff
so yeah, I know
normally see we didn't get to see because of all that.
Yeah, but I know there's going to be people that aren't going to like this, and this is why the playoff shouldn't exist, and that's a conversation that we've had for years upon years, and we'll continue to have. Being that there's all this talk about playoffs being abolished or changed or whatever, but what are you going to do? You got to get it right. NASCAR's got to be able to look at everything they can to get everything right. So,
yeah.
So again, what this will do, it is officially eliminates from the playoffs Taylor Gray, Nick Sanchez, Austin Hill, and Harrison Burton. We will give you the reseed for the round of 8 because the 8 drivers that move on have all of their points reset, and then their accrued playoff points throughout the season, and remember throughout this round of the playoffs as well, will be added on to their reset of 3,000 points, and we'll give you the new championship standings here in just a moment once we're given it, if we're given it at that. I should say that, if we're given it, because as we know, everything has been touch and go for the last 15 or 20 minutes, and perhaps we won't get the reseed because they're still sorting through the finishing positions. So hopefully we will have that reseed available to you. If we do, we will give it to you. What we know for sure, Connor Zilic gets the win. He's got 10 wins this season, which is just remarkable. Austin Green finishing second. That is just unbelievable. What a finish for that driver and that team. So pleased for him. Sammy Smith finishes third with the Hail Mary at the end that we talked about, thrown up by crew chief Philip Bell. Kaz Gralla finishes fourth. Connor Mosack ends up fifth. Remember, Mosack came to pit road late with what he thought was a mechanical issue or a fuel pressure issue. Ends up getting a top 5 finish. Jeb Burton scrapped and clawed his way to 6th. A lot of good stories coming out of this race aside from all of the playoff drama of the day. And I mean, Nick Sanchez gets eliminated from the playoffs, but for that team to rebound and rally back to finish 9th, I mean, that's a heck of a rally back for the 48 team and driver Nick Sanchez. That's great work out of them to come back and get a top 10 finish, even though it does not get them through into the next round of the playoffs. Still trying to wait and get you the round of 8 reseed, which CW has not given. We can tell you that it is official, as JT said, that it ends up being 1 point that separates Smith from Gray. The round of 8 begins next Saturday night in Las Vegas. The 3 races in the round of 8 will be at Las Vegas, Talladega, and Martinsville. Tremendous 3 tracks there, as we're down to now just 4 races remaining in the Xfinity Series season before the championship races run in Phoenix in November. And we certainly hope that you will join us next Saturday night for that race at Las Vegas. Justin Allgaier, the winner at Vegas earlier this season. Again, that's next Saturday night at 7:30. The Focused Health 302 from Las Vegas. Don't ask why. It's the Focused Health 302, as they'll run 201 laps.
Yay. Yay. Shall we go behind the scenes, Matthew, real quick?
Yes, absolutely.
If I press this button... Hello, everyone. Members could see me setting this up, but I'm going to press this button and let's go down trackside.
What you needed to do, but as you think about, man, the closing laps of that last stage, how nerve-wracking was it?
It was. I was really just kind of crossing my fingers that we were just going to go green there with 5 to go, and it wasn't going to be no drama or nothing like that. But I kind of figured it was going to happen. The caution was going to come out, and we had a decision to make whether we were going to pit or not. And we kind of went in with the we're going to pit mentality right away, and I wasn't really sure, right? I mean, it just depends on how many come down and stuff like that. But with the race, how it played out, I think either one could work. And we chose to pit, but lost a little bit on our pit stop there at the end and kind of put us in a little bit more of a hole. I think we were 3 or 4 back from the cut line when we took the green on that last restart there. But these guys just gave me a car that's as fast as Xfinity Mobile today, and so our stage 1 speed was really, really strong. I think we were legit running 5th, and had a restart after a pit stop and all that, and still finished 5th. And stage 2, we stayed out to finish 5th to kind of build some stage points, and we were just hoping to have a pretty good finish at the end. And I think if that caution didn't come out, we were going to run 12th or so. So either way, 15th ain't too bad, and we did our job.
Before the race, Carson told me he felt really good about the next round if they could transfer. Well, they've transferred, so we'll see what they can do next weekend in Vegas. Dylan?
Jesse Love and the 2 team, another group that did their job today, scored the 3rd most stage points of anybody and come home in the 12th spot. So on those days where you just got to kind of get through it and get through the first stages and get those points and then ultimately kind of get the reward at the end, what are those days like behind the wheel?
It's not stressful at first, and then it gets very, very stressful. So, yeah, I was really proud of our guys. We had a car as fast as Xfinity Mobile, and obviously got to get a stage win, a playoff point, all the good stuff, and we got our car better as well. So, yeah, really proud of the guys. You know, obviously when you stay out in stage 2, you put yourself in the thick of it for the final stage, and I was kind of just trying to be the gentleman driver out there, which is a little unlike me, but I was enjoying myself. So, yeah, I was really happy about it. Looking at the car right now, we got the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation on the car, and I got this. If the camera wants to come to me real quick. Yeah, there we go. I got this, coin from challenge coin from one of the families out there today who was a wife with a little boy and a little girl that don't have their father anymore. So, puts it in perspective how little this stuff actually means, how much more life there really is. So I'm really grateful I have a sponsor like Wheelan that lets me, help these people and again, like, I guess, give back to the people that, deserve it the most. So, yeah, all the families and friends out there that, Wheelan supports, we appreciate you guys, and our condolences, obviously. So, what a great looking car today. Only got a couple scratches on it, but looking forward to the next round.
Yeah. Well said. Good day for the 2 team. They're on to the round of 8, Carla.
Well, 1 year ago, Sheldon Creed left this race disappointed. That is not the case tonight, obviously finishing 11th and advancing into this next round. How important, how special has this been to be able to do that with this team this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's been incredible. We've had a lot of highs and a lot of lows and worked really hard to get to this point. So, yeah, I thought we were going to maybe sweep this first round with top 5s. Really didn't want to see that last caution, but yeah, just your classic stressful roval, just, yeah, a lot of chaos and survived it. So really happy for everyone at Haas Factory Team, Ford, Roush Yates Engines, everyone that supports us, Road Ranger, Pit Boss, Ollie's, Friend of Jacqueline, Haas Automation, Gene Hosh, and Joe Custer, and just everyone on this 00 team. We've worked really hard through this first round to collect good finishes, and now we can focus on the next 3.
And a big moment for Haas Factory getting both of their cars in, Kim.
Yeah, Sam Mayer had a decent points buffer coming in, moves on to the next round, plus 26. But when we were talking, you said your day could not have been worse. So how do you kind of reset and then prepare yourself for Vegas next week with the mentality you had to go through today?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is we made it to the next round, and I'm really proud of everyone on the Haas Factory team. They did a great job staying with me all day. Like we talked about earlier, they literally everything that could have gotten thrown at you got thrown at us, and we still managed to make it to the next round. So really looking forward to the next round. We're going to some tracks that Ford Racing has been really good at the past, and hopefully we can get the Audubell Ford Mustang in there to the Champ 4. But yeah, today wasn't our day, but we're going to have a couple good ones going forward. We just got to bring cars as fast as Xfinity Mobile, and should be good.
Sam walks away from the Roval in the 19th position, Dylan.
Well, it was a day of what could have been ultimately for Austin Hill, and ends just in a bummer with the mechanical issue that ultimately sidelines this 21 team and eliminates them from the playoffs. How do you wrap your head around just how everything went down there in the last few laps?
You know, it just... I can go back to Bristol. Bristol was not a good race for us. We ran outside the top 15 all day. I didn't do a good job as the driver. We just missed on setup. Had a really good Kansas. Finished 3rd there. Thought we were in striking distance. And then today in stage 1 and 2, we got stage points. Was doing everything we needed to do in stage 3. Was driving up through the field. The strategy we were on, we were leading that strategy. Got up inside the top 10 and just was biding my time, trying to not overuse my tires because I knew it was going to be a longer run. And came off turn 7, and yeah, we just started having a mechanical issue, started laying down on me, and just an unfortunate end of the night. Everybody on this
Bennett Chevrolet, everybody at ECR, RCR Engines has been great all year. You know, I haven't had any issues on the engine side ever since coming over to RCR, so I don't point the finger at anyone. We win as a team, we lose as a team. If anyone is at fault, it's probably me, just for losing those 21 bonus points at the middle part of the year. So I'll just put it on my chest if anyone's going to take blame. ECR does a fabulous job in the engine department. I won't want to drive anything but that. So we'll just go to Vegas and try to stink up the show a little bit and win us some races from here on out.
21 car finishes 28th today, and they ultimately missed the playoffs by 21 points.
Yeah.
Can I speak now? Okay, no.
Sanchez, a strong run early on in this race, but maybe not quite enough, obviously, to advance to the next round. What more did you need tonight?
Yeah, it just wasn't our day, right? We did not have the speed to kind of advance straight up, earning stage points and whatnot. So yeah, obviously I'm disappointed, but I'm proud of the whole Big Machine Racing team. We're gonna go to Vegas. We still have a lot of fight left, and we're gonna go chase 4 more trophies. Sucks we're not in contention for the championship, but yeah, such is life, right?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, literally every single member that you could possibly want down in pit road. Let us unmute that and press that button and attempt what we just tried to do. Welcome to the behind the scenes. If I move backwards, this is one instance of OBS. But I just okay, yeah, I pressed the fader, it didn't like it. First, OBS, bus mixer, big screen, timing screen. Second, OBS, YouTube Studio, 2 stream decks, control everything. Look, I can press stuff and it does all cool stuff. Wow. This is headset speaker, because I can feed it to my speaker, but I won't because it will echo. Notepad if I want to write down anything. My 2 SD cards that I know where they are. That is not the SD card I'm missing. I can actually, what Matthew doesn't know is that I can press this button and that button, and in 2 buttons I can completely mute his microphone. Hello, Matthew. It's fine. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching, and I guess we shall go through the results of this chaotic race.
Because that has been published now. So here's how the playoff standings look going into the round of 8 starting next weekend in Las Vegas. Connor Zilich starts 57 points above the cut line. That is a stupid number. Justin Allgaier at second at plus 24. Brandon Jones third plus 4. Sam Mayer in fourth plus 2. And then below the cut line, Jesse Love minus 2. Sammy Smith minus 7. Carson Quaffle minus 11. And Sheldon Creed minus 13. So you have Zilich and Allgaier way ahead of everybody. And then you've got 17 points, only 17 points, that will separate third place Brandon Jones from 8th place Sheldon Creed, heading to the round of 8, which gets started next Saturday night in Las Vegas, JT.
Yeah, so thank you for that reseed, and since you've done a lot of talking, I shall take you through the results. So, Connor Zilich in first, and then Austin Green in second, Sammy Smith in third, Kaz Grala in fourth, Connor Mozak in fifth, Jeb Burton sixth, William Swallowed seventh, Justin Allgaier eighth, Nick Sanchez ninth, and Christian Ekes 10th. Yes, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars I count that are non-playoff cars in the top 10. 11th is the 00 Sheldon Creed, Jesse Love in 12th in the 2 car, Taylor Gray in 13th in the 54 car, with Eric Almirola in the 19 car in 14th position. 15th, Carson Quaffle. 16th, Farkle Vetslav with 17th, the 11th car of Daniel Hemrick. Brandon Jones in the 20 car. 18th, and Sam Mayer in the 41 car. 19th, Ryan Sieg in 20th in the 39 car with Jos Balicki. 21st in the 91 car. Corey Day somehow survived the 68 laps after wanting to make friends with the wall very hard on the end of lap 1, and we shall rejoin after Corey Day, because guess what, we've got some more news from pit lane.
Good runs that you've had kind of throughout the year in this car, but what was going right today that allowed you guys to contend at the front?
Yeah, our long run pace was really good. It's fast extreme mobile. I don't know if I just wasn't going as hard in the beginning and trying to save a little bit of tire, but yeah, the fall off was really bad, and everyone would just kind of go, and so I'd lose a couple and then kind of gain them all right back. So, but no, really good day by the whole three-dimensional service group, Peters Racing team, and can't thank Doug Peterson enough for just a dream of a race and a year, and hopefully a good long career. But no, I think obviously congrats to Connor and the 88 crew. I look at it as a win. He's obviously the class of the field, so just overall a real good day.
Yeah, for sure. Best in show if you want to look at it that way, but a great day for Austin Green, career best second place finish.
His dad, Dave.
And we can continue the results from Corey Day downwards. So 22nd Corey Day, 17 car. Anthony Alfredo in the 42 car is 23rd. Then 24th, the 71 of Ryan Ellis. Then Sage Karam in the 53 car. Leland Honeyman in the 92 car. Then Jeremy Clements, Austin Hill down in 28th. Then Blaine Perkins, the 07 car, in 30th. Brennan Poole in 31st, Matt Benedetto in 32nd, Carl Sieg 33rd, then Harrison Burton in 34th, Dean Thompson 35th, and then out of the race Daniel Dye, Josh Williams, and the 50 car in 38th and last place. So Matthew, I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yes, entertaining day, a lot of drama and excitement as we anticipated. And what else we anticipated was Connor Zilich winning. So, dominant fashion. He led 61 laps. He wins for the 10th time this season. Just an incredible number. Also an incredible number is that he starts the round of 8, 57 points above the cut line. Hope you'll join us tomorrow for the NASCAR Cup Series race, the Bank of America Roval 400 from Charlotte. That is tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, USRN and JBM. We'll have the call for you. Xfinity Series season continues next Saturday night at 7:30 from Las Vegas. For everyone at USRN, JBM, for JT, Matthew Owens signing off from the Queen City of Charlotte, where Connor Zilich gets the victory. Good night.